You're clear to.
Clear to.
You're clear to.
Clear to.
Clear from clear to.
Clear to.
Clear to.
Clear to.
Mike Zilla, you clear to.
This is clear to the Salt Lake Airport via the Alpine for departure.
Hey, read back correct, runway 1, taxi via Bravo.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Cleared Podcast. Today, I am sitting down with none other than Mr. Matt Russell. Matt, welcome to the podcast, man.
What's up? Thank you for having me.
This is, we probably canceled 3 or 4 times because you were getting called out for different things. So I'm glad that we're finally sitting down. So I like to start all the podcasts out with a quick bio. And it was funny. I texted you when we first were planning that first one. I was like, hey, shoot me a quick bio. And I'll tell you what, I have never had a bio like that before. You are jam-packed, brother.
You got a few things on there. I'm old.
So this is Matt Russell's bio. 21 years in the U.S. Air Force with operational and test flying experience. You flew the F-16 Viper and the T-36 Talon pretty early in your career as well.
Yeah.
Now, you attended the United States Air Force Test Pilot School 2011, Edwards Air Force Base, and then served at Eglin Air Force Base. Spent 11 and a half years teaching and researching the U.S. Air Force Test Pilot School, not just being part of the test pilot, but researching and teaching there. Served as the chief of flight test for the global F-16 fleet. You were the first person to fly the X-68 or the X-62 Alpha VISTA with AI avionics on board.
Correct.
That's nuts. You were explaining to me that the F-16 is like what, or the X-62A is like the F-16.
It's an F-16 platform. It's a piece marble airframe. So it was built for Israel. And then the Air Force bought it. So they basically have this one-off weird F-16. They put oversized actuators on a bunch of weird stuff. And now it's got it has a digital overlay over the flight controls so we can do all kinds of wacky stuff with it. It's a research platform.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
You continue to still fly for the U.S. Air Force. Is it the Technical Pilot School? What was it?
Test Pilot School at
Test Pilot School.
Yeah.
And then you're an A321 captain as well.
Right.
You are an evaluator for the SAE, what's that?
Specialty Aircraft Examiner.
Which is like...
So yeah, if you need a type rating in an F-16, I can help you out.
I mean, I don't even want to know what that check ride costs. I get angry that, right now the private pilot check ride is $1,200.
Right.
Could only imagine on an F-16. But then you're also a DPE for general aviation.
Right.
That's
a lot.
That's quite a bit.
I'm flying almost every day.
That's insane. Yeah, just when you sent that over to me, my mouth just went, are you kidding me? So I had quite a few people that the way I base this podcast is the people that I bring on are people that other folks have been like, hey, you got to have this person on there. I can't remember who it was that said I needed to have you on, but I'm super excited for our conversation.
Yeah, I think it was Derek. He's an air traffic controller at
Derek.
Hill. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because I went and I flew. I took him and his wife flying.
Oh.
So during the whole government shutdown, I was like, man, ATC's having a really hard time. I don't want them to be like, this stuff sucks. I'm out of here. And I was like, hey, if you're an air traffic controller, I'll take you for a free flight. Let's go.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. Derek hooked us up. He actually got me, my wife, and my kids up at Hill Air Force Base to go and watch Mach do an F-35 demo.
No way.
It was bananas.
Sick.
And now I guess they're selling tickets for this year's air show to be in at the control tower.
Right.
Which
that's a pretty good seat.
That's a really good seat. That is a really good seat. My kids were talking about, I pulled them out of school for it, and they were talking about it to all their friends. Totally. Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me? I'm going to pull them out of school for that. Well, you got a pretty crazy background, man.
Indeed.
You know,
Very blessed.
the one big thing that I kind of want to, I always like to start these podcasts off by really going to the very beginning of it, right? Like I'm talking back to the kid with, you know, if you're like my son, running around all the time with an airplane in your hand. Right. What was your kind of earliest memory of airplanes?
Oh, geez. So as a kid, we lived in Egypt, we lived in Hawaii, so we were always flying everywhere. So I just remember, I don't know, probably 4 years old and seeing the clouds out the window, and we went above the clouds, and I was like, whoa.
This is cool.
This is sick. So I was sold. You know, they had me at clouds.
So you were, so you lived in Egypt?
Yeah.
In England? Was your parents?
My dad's he's a linguist.
Okay.
So he was studying like cuneiform and hieroglyph and stuff. So
that's
he had
wild.
to do his research over there. Yeah. So we lived in Egypt when I was a kid. I was like I was towhead blonde.
Yeah.
I was the only blonde kid in like the whole country, I swear. And, you know, dudes are running around with AK-47s and they're pointing.
They're like, hey, who are you?
Who's the kid, you know? So it was pretty intense, but what a cool place.
How long were you there for?
Just a year.
Okay.
But we were able to go see pyramids and go, you know, to Valley of the Kings and, you know, all that stuff.
So, I mean, going above the clouds and being like, hey, this is pretty cool. I mean, were you that kid that was like running around with a jet in his plane or a jet in his hand, or did aviation kind of hit you later on?
No, totally. Like I say, so both of my grandpas were pilots. My one was a P-38, P-51 guy.
Lucky.
In World War II. He actually had 3 air-to-air kills and 1 train. Several ground targets.
Wait,
but he was almost
like a train, like choo-choo? Choo-choo.
Yeah, which is weird because he worked for the Union Pacific after he got back from the war. It was kind of funny. But
he's like, I shot down one of the, or is it considered shooting it down?
I guess, yeah. It's a kill. Immobile.
Dog fight with a train.
Right. So anyway, yeah, he shot down a couple of ME-109s and a junk or something. Anyway, so he was kind of my hero. My other grandpa, he was a gunner in a B-17 and then, you know, went on to be a pilot himself. And then my dad, he was Air Force. You know, he flew T-38s at Willie.
Really?
During Vietnam.
Was this before or after becoming a linguist?
So it's funny because he was always going to be a linguist, but then Vietnam hit.
Yeah.
And he basically joined the Air Force to avoid kind of getting drafted into something he didn't want to do. And he was going to go be an intel guy in language. And they ended up saying, yeah, you're going to fly. And so it ended up, you know, it wasn't something he wanted to do, but he ended up loving it, you know.
I mean, that's kind of hard not to love.
Right.
That, right. Especially the T-38.
Yeah, sick machine.
Those are one of my favorites. The T-38, and then the F5.
F5. They're just sexy, right?
The
curves on that thing are just clean.
And they're fast. They're super capable.
Yeah.
You know, and then you don't typically see them anymore.
Right.
Yeah, there's I was just in Oklahoma City here last week, or here this week. Time's getting away from me. What's the platform that they use? I don't think it's Pilatus that makes them, but
it's based on the PC-9, which is Pilatus product.
The
T6
Texan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I saw one of those. I was like, that's cool.
They're a pretty cool airplane. They're legit. They're fast.
I like, if I ever hit the lottery,
right?
I'm going to be like, I'll take a T6. I like it in blue, you know? Because those things were floating around there. And I was just in awe because, I mean, right there in Oklahoma, you've got Tinker. I think it's Tinker that was right there. And I don't know what they were getting geared up for, but there were probably 20 to 30 planes in the sky at any given time.
Dang. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm like, this is a pretty cool little spot.
Yeah. Well, you're from Phoenix. Down at Deer Valley, they got like 33 Super Tucanos.
Yeah.
It's very similar. You know, it's a
from Embraer.
Single turboprop.
They're
getting ready to sell them, I think. But
the Super Tucanos, that just for like the people at home, because this is another aircraft that I'm familiar with. It is essentially an air tractor. Okay.
Yeah.
A crop duster I call it the spicy crop duster.
Right.
Okay. So the government put out a almost like a contest to some manufacturers and some avionic groups. It's some right here in Utah.
Yeah.
Where it was essentially like, okay, hey, you're going to take this platform, this air tractor platform, the AT like 12 or whatever it is. And they want it to be able to do surveillance and run
Light attack.
Yeah. Some light attack.
Yep.
And that's going from spraying crops to spraying rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not too far fetched.
Yeah. And I don't know. Part of it was they were so low on pilots. The Air Force needed to bring in a lot of pilots. But they didn't have a lot of airframes. So they figured that was kind of a good low cost solution to season guys in a light attack kind of fighter. It's a turboprop.
I mean, quite frankly, you could go to like Ohio and be like, you like flying air tractors? What about one of these?
We got something for you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, obviously you've been around, you kind of from birth, you were around aircraft the whole time.
Right. Yeah. My dad ended up flying Learjets for First Hawaiian Bank when we lived in Hawaii for a while, 3 or 4 years.
Okay. So where have you lived?
Like everywhere.
Where haven't you lived? Is that going to be a shorter list?
Right. Yeah. Between growing up and the Air Force, man, all over. We lived in Korea, lived in Hawaii, lived in Egypt, lived in Boston, lived in Utah. Kind of grew up in Utah, but anyway, yeah. So I grew up going down to the airport and checking out my dad's Learjet, and drawing airplanes every second I could. And I think I wrote, I was learning to write in school, and I wrote a sentence like, I was going to be an engineer, and I decided to be a pilot instead. Like my mom just showed me this piece of paper. And that's exactly what I did. I went into engineering, and then
some kids are like, I want to be a firefighter when I'm older. Yeah, and then they become like a IT specialist. It's like, crap. You knew right from the get-go.
Right from the get-go, yeah. I always wanted to do it, so.
Was your teacher the type that was like, Matt, get your head out of the window?
You'll put your eye out. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
You'll never do that.
I saw something the other day, and it was like, I really wish I could contact my teacher from like 3rd grade and be like, yeah, I ended up actually getting a job just looking out windows all day. So how about that? Checkmate.
It's valuable skills I picked up.
So going through school, pretty normal, like high school experience and stuff like that. When did you start getting that like, when did the kind of fire get lit under you to be like, okay, hey, now let's start pursuing flying?
So it's weird. I always just knew I was going to go fly fighters for the Air Force, right? That was what I was destined to be, man. And so when I graduated, I got to college, and the Air Force was not hiring pilots. And so I'm like, oh crap, what am I going to do? So I was going to do ROTC, but then they weren't hiring pilots. I'm like, I'm not going to commit to the ROTC and then not fly, right? That'd be dumb. So I just kind of held off. And by the time I graduated, they still didn't need pilots. So I'm like, oh, geez. I went back and got an engineering master's degree in like rocket engines and jet engines and stuff like that.
Still pretty cool stuff.
I love that stuff. Yeah. And and by the end of my master's degree, the Marines needed pilots really bad. And so they raised their age limit to 30. And, by that time, like the Air Force still didn't need pilots. And I was already like, it's 27 and a half normally. Yeah. And I was already like 28 or something like that, 27, 28. And so the Air Force was just done, right? That was over. So when the Marines raised their age limit, like I did not really want to fly with the Marines.
That's fair.
But that was the only military, unit that was, or agency that was hiring pilots. Uh-huh. And so as soon as they raised their age to 30, I was like, all right, I'm doing this. And it's funny because I ended up, I got a plantar fasciitis because I was running a ton, the Marines. Yeah. I was running 25 miles a week.
Shin splints and plantar fasciitis go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Right. So it didn't matter how much ibuprofen I was popping. It just wasn't working. So they sent me home from the Marines. So I went and worked as an engineer at Raytheon building missiles. And right outside my office is the F-16, the 162nd Fighter Wing. They train foreign nationals to fly.
Where were you based out of at this point?
So that was, so I was at BYU doing my master's degree. 'Cause my dad was a professor there.
Oh, sweet. Your dad did a lot of stuff too.
Yes, he did. And so yeah, after that's where I applied to the Marines. Went to Quantico.
Nice.
And then they sent me home because my foot wasn't working. So then I went to Tucson, which is where Raytheon is.
Yeah, Davis-Monthan.
Yep. And
Did you ever go out to the Boneyard?
Yeah. I've taken a few jets in there.
Really?
Yeah. So I've taken a few jets out of there too, which is that's better. I like that better.
I worked for a company where we were doing a lot of stuff with the military, and one of the accesses, I guess you can say, that we had was to the Boneyard. Oh, and
that's cool.
We were working on the F-16 platform, which was really cool. And I remember the first time that I went out to the Boneyard. So I go out there and I'm handed a stick, and it's like, okay, you're in charge of the stick. I'm like, what the freak am I supposed to do with this? And he's like, you'll know. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm 16, 17 at this time. This was a high school job for me. And he opens up a panel, rattlesnake pops out. So that was, I wish I still had that stick.
Dude, so many snakes.
Swacking rattlesnakes. They'd pop out.
Whack.
So you're down at Davis-Monthan.
Yeah. So, yep. And so the 162nd, they teach like Dutch and, all of our NATO partners to fly F-16s. Yeah. So I'm sitting there, I'm a nerd at my desk with all the engineers doing my little nerd stuff. And there's F-16s blasting off outside. And
You're like, screw this shit.
Yeah. My mouse is like rattling on the little mouse pad. And it was just like such salt in the wounds that, I had a pilot slot to go fly with the Marines, got booted. And so I just said, oh, man, screw it. I'm going to go get so I already had a private pilot license. I worked on that during my master's degree. Yeah. And so I did my instrument training and my commercial stuff at Tucson International.
Okay.
At the FBO there. And my instructor one day, he's like, hey, bro, did you hear the Air Force just raised their age limit to 30? And that was it, man. I was like,
see ya. I
went down to the recruiter's office and I made him let me in. Like I scheduled my own fly physical. I scheduled my own BAT test, my own AFOQT. I made him let me in. And I got to pilot training at 29.9 years of age. And the limit's 30, right?
Wow.
Like I had a month to spare.
You're like, I have to get this done.
Yeah. So I was kind of old. Like my call sign when I was at F-16 school was Yoda. And that's because, when 900 years you reach, I was
wise one you are.
Yeah, I was older than all the instructors, right? So, anyway,
that's hilarious.
Wrinkly skin,
It reminds me of I was just scrolling stupid Instagram, and it was like there was a pilot influencer, and they were born in like 2002, and they were going around. It's like, oh, what year were you born? To some of the other pilots, and they're like 1990, and it was like a picture of the dude like crossing the Potomac River, like it's like plain old. It's so funny, dude. Yoda. So did that call sign like stick with you?
No, like you can't have your schoolhouse call sign is like,
that's it.
That's the fake one, right? Like you get your real call sign when you go to your first combat unit.
Yeah.
So I was at the 4th here at Hill. I don't know if you've met Sticky Strick.
I have met Sticky. Yeah.
Yeah. So he flies L-39s up there at Ogden. And he was a Thunderbird, and he flew for Southwest, but he was my commander at the 4th at Hill.
Oh, really?
So I got named when I was, working for him.
It's funny. Sticky just, there was a T-38 that has been, I never thought it was ever going to leave.
Yeah.
This airport right here at Bountiful. There's some real big drama behind that T-38, let me tell you. But something about a U-Haul pulling it out of a hangar at 1:00 in the morning anyways, the authorities and all this different stuff. But anyways, Sticky was the one that flew it out of here.
Oh,
and I was like, hope I see Sticky again.
Right? Who knows what kind of shape that thing's in?
Yeah. And he got it out of there. I guess it's in California now.
Oh, nice.
Which is like, oh, cool.
Is it down at National Test Pilot School?
I
You know
have
where it is.
no idea where it went.
I know they have one or two down there, but
Well, if you see a T-38 there with a yellow canopy,
okay.
that's it.
That's it.
And it says Navy all over it.
Oh, there you go.
So maybe, who
Yeah,
knows?
that's a giveaway.
But so Sticky was the commander of the 4th.
Yeah,
When you were
yeah.
over there.
So they named me Pimptastic. That's
Pimptastic.
my official full-length call sign.
Okay.
So
how did Pimptastic come to play?
well, so funny story. I
feel like most call signs come with a funny story.
So you have to put like flyers around. You have to campaign for the name you want, right? You'll never get the name you want.
Yeah.
And I knew I wouldn't get Yoda because that was my schoolhouse call sign.
Yeah.
I campaigned for Yoda. That's a natural choice. So I put flyers up all over the squadron, and they were pretty funny. Like not only is Yoda like utterly fantastic little green warrior, but he's anyway. So I did this huge write up about how awesome Yoda was and why it would be like an honor to have a Yoda in the 4th Fighter Squadron, right? So anyway, everyone kind of glommed onto Pimptastic because that was back then. That was kind of that was just coming into vogue.
Yeah.
People were just starting to use that.
Because what year is this?
Like 2003.
Wow.
Summer of 2003. And it was like there was all these apps online starting to pop up where you could like pimpify your name. You could put your name in.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So Pimp was big in 2003. So
I call everybody Pimp. What's up, Pimp?
What's up, Pimp? Yeah. It's hard for a pimp out there.
Yeah, exactly it is.
So anyway, that they glommed onto Pimptastic, and then I'm from here, from Utah, and there's a Mormon vibe here. I'm LDS, and so they're like polygamist in my prime. So that was it,
Polygamist in my prime.
Yeah. So that's how Pimp was born. Which is better than some alternatives out there. Like some people are named Pimped and it's like pooped in my pants or, that, right?
Which, I mean, that
I didn't do.
I heard that does happen quite a bit.
Right. Yeah. You pull some G with a stomach problem, you're probably not going to be doing very well.
Yeah. Bananas. I heard that's the cheat code.
Right,
if you need food before you go fly, an F-16, bananas.
That's a good one.
So why the F-16 specifically? Is it, why the F-16?
Because it's sexy AF.
Did you have a choice?
Yeah. So when I went through, there was tons of fighter slots coming down, which was unusual. Like you have to be in the top half of your class to get a fighter in the first place to track. Because like you start out in the T-37 or the T-6 now, T-62, and then they track you. You split, right? And you can go heavy track or you can go like fighter bomber track is what they used to call it. I think it's something similar still, but anyway, so there might be 10 guys out of 30 that go fighter track.
Okay.
And then the drop's going to be like 5 fighters and 5 bomber / first assignment IP FAPE,
Okay.
So you just go stay at the schoolhouse, and teach the new kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So
like cool CFIs.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I ended up getting an F-16. There was 3 F-16s in our drop, I think, and 2 A-10s. And then the rest were...
I would have gone for the A-10s.
The A-10s are cool.
But now they're getting rid of them.
Right?
How stupid is that? Stupid.
And it's a budget thing. It's all money thing.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the problem. The A-10 is so sick for the ground pounders. Like the Army, they love them. And they're so...
Because it's saved so many people's ass.
Yes. It's great for what they do. So the problem is the Air Force is like, okay, got it. Army, you love them. Why don't you fly them?
Yeah.
They're not really helping our mission as much. Like they're costing us a bunch of money. When stuff gets old, it's hard to keep them flying. It's expensive, right? So in order to get new stuff, we kind of have to divest old stuff. So that's been the battle the whole time. Is the Army's like, no, you can't get rid of them, and the Air Force is like, but we need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And anyone who's like loves aviation and loves like special ops, ground supporting the guys on the ground, like the A-10 is like, that does not get any better, right?
I've seen the A-10 be described as like a reserve parachute to a skydiver.
Right.
It's like, would you get rid of that?
No.
Nope. But the F-35 is also pretty capable on the ground.
Yeah, it's not bad. The nice thing about the A-10 is you can get low and slow.
Yeah.
Like you're in it, right? You
The F-20 is the F-22 more of that ground pounder right now?
So it's all air.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, they always, the F-15/F-22 guys, they always say not a pound for air to ground, right? Because they're like too good for air to ground.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Anyway, I won't say anything about that.
I'm gonna have some
I
like
regret, but
right. I'm gonna have some F-22 pilot be like, "Listen here, bro. We're the coolest."
Right, exactly. That's what they will tell you.
And I'm gonna be like, "Well, have you ever seen a T-6 Texan?"
Anyway, so in order before you select for a fighter, you go to the centrifuge, right? And they spin you. And what fixed a lot of guys? A lot of guys want the F-16 because it's sexy, or the F-15, or they weren't doing F-22s yet. They weren't doing some of that stuff yet. So it was pretty much F-15, F-16. Those are the top picks, right? And we go to the centrifuge because you have to get qualified to fly the T-38 because it's a high G airplane.
Yeah. And
when we get back from the centrifuge, like everyone's dream sheet changed, right? Because some dudes are like, bro,
really?
The T-38 profile is like 6 or 8 Gs, and the F-16 profile is 9.4, right? And it's night 10 for like 15 seconds, I think. Anyway, so like some dudes were just like so wrecked after the centrifuge. Like, there's no way I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing the F-16.
This ain't no Cessna 172.
Right. So if you're shorter and stockier, you're good, right? The G's don't really bother you. So like I wasn't like, I'm not like a bowling ball, but like there's guys out there that are bowling balls that have a resting G tolerance of like 10 Gs, Wow. Ridiculous. But so my G tolerance was pretty good.
What were you sitting at?
So, I mean, I was able to do 9.4, no problem.
Really?
I never passed out, never had. I mean, I got Gsels. You know what Gsels are?
Yeah, the G suits.
Yeah, where you get it pops all of your capillaries all over.
Okay.
So, like after you get out of the centrifuge, man, the next day you'll be all bruised everywhere.
Wow.
Just like if you raise the blood pressure up really high, and the G suit squeezes and all that stuff, man, it's just capillaries popping everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and your heart distends like 3 inches, something like that. So it's pretty. It's crazy when you see the video, people look like...
People's faces are like melting off.
Melting off. Yeah, it's crazy.
I've always wanted to go on one of those just to like see.
Just to try it, yeah.
Because I'm a stupid male where I'm like, yeah, I could handle that.
Yeah.
No problem.
If you're a scrawny twig, you're screwed. But like you're buff, you could you would be fine.
Sick. Does well, I guess the cutoff age is 32 now for the Air Force?
Something like that, yeah.
Shoot, if I can go fly F-16s or F-35s, sign me up.
Right? Yeah. So I ended up kind of being, I don't know, I did well enough to get an F-16.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was good.
And so, yeah, I mean, but just choosing the F-16, what did the Viper teach you? Because I've heard this from multiple people. I know some F-16 pilots, and they're like, you know what, really like the F-16 because like it tested you.
Yeah.
What did you learn from flying the F-16 Viper when it comes to, management and discipline?
Right. Yeah, that's all. That's it right there. So the thing about the F-16 that's fun, like if you're ADHD, you should be in the F-16, right? Because
I got it up the wazoo.
You'd be perfect.
I am like the poster child for ADHD.
Right. So like we call ourselves jack of all trades, master of none. Our doc statement, that's our declaration of capability.
Uh-huh.
So what we say that we have a combat capability in what missions, right? So like SEED, DCA, CAS, set, all these mission sets, right? So
you're gonna have to break down those acronyms. I know the Air Force is like
all
acronym central,
right?
What break down some of those?
Yeah, so SEED is suppression of enemy air defenses. So that's kind of an air-to-air role because you are sanitizing air-to-air, but you're more helping
sanitizing air-to-air, aka just wrecking somebody's day.
People, yeah, exactly. But you're more trying to keep the bros, the strike package.
Okay.
That's air to ground. You're trying to protect the strike bros, by keeping the surface-to-air missiles at bay, right? So you're up there, hey, shoot me, right? Basically,
Seriously?
essentially what SEAD is, yeah. And in fact, like the first unit in Vietnam who got tagged with this mission, because we were just getting destroyed by SAMs in Vietnam, and dudes are getting shot down left.
Surface to air missiles, right?
Yep, surface to air missiles. Yeah, so they said, all right, here's what we're going to do. So they're like, you're going to go fly into the MEZ, the missile engagement zone, right? And you're going to be like, hey,
shoot me.
Look at me. Yeah, exactly. And the commander who was being assigned this mission was like, you got to be shitting me. So that's why the SEAD patch has a weasel on it. It's a wild weasel mission. And then it says YGBSM.
Really?
You got to be shitting me. Because that's your job, is to go get shot at.
Hey.
Go shag some surface to air missiles.
Wow.
So yeah, we do that. We're trying to hand that off to the F-35s, but right now, over in Iran, we've got a SEAD unit that's F-16 saying, hey,
that's crazy.
Don't look over there. Shoot me.
Yeah, hey, don't worry about those. But why? I've always heard that the F-35 is when it's up on radar, it's like the size of a pin.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's a very small blip, I guess you can say. Right. And I guess that blip literally just comes from the camera in the front of the aircraft.
So
or whatever. So why would they need a SEAD?
So yeah, so like stealth platforms don't. So you're not totally invisible,
right?
First of all, so there are situations where you would want SEAD for a strike package. Not always. Like when the B-2s went in, I don't think they might have had a SEAD package. I don't know that for sure, so I can't say really. But like when you're going in stealth, there are systems out there, and there are aspects of your aircraft that are more visible than others, right?
Right.
Like nose on, the jet looks pretty clean, right? Like visibly, you can just tell nose on, wow, that's probably a pretty low radar cross section. Plan form on top, that's probably pretty significant radar cross section.
Yeah.
So, I was dogfighting an F-22, and I'm like at a mile trying to lock them up, and it's like no point.
You can't get them.
Yeah, it's like it's just ridiculous, right? How stealthy they are. But yeah, they're super stealthy, and so you don't. They're trying to stay unclass here.
Yeah,
don't want to get anything classified, but
right.
Like you can, there are situations where you might like some SEAD.
Yeah,
even with a stealth strike,
just as like a kind of like a backup.
Also, yeah, and also because you'd like to take that stuff out because the next wave, like. Stealth is tough, right? It's tough to have a mass of stealth fighters because they're expensive and they're expensive to keep stealthy, right? If you're flying an F-35 every day, it's a lot of time and money to keep it stealthy while you're taking bugs and all that kind of stuff.
You know what they aren't stealthy to?
What's that?
Neighborhood Karens.
Right? They see them every time.
People are complaining all the time. Those freaking F-35s are so loud. They scared me real bad.
Yeah.
Not stealthy to Karens.
No, there's plenty of Karens out there. Anyway, so day one, it's got to be stealth, right? Day two, probably stealth. Day three, okay, now you want to start getting B-52s in there. You want to start getting F-16s in there so that you have mass, right?
Yeah.
So you have more volume. And in order to do that, you go in first couple of nights, strategic targets, i.e. take out their air defenses, right?
Yeah.
So you can bring everybody in. So you kind of, I don't know, seed/deed now, which is destruction of enemy air defenses. So we do a little more of that now too.
There you go.
It used to be just suppression. So we just jam them, or we would just hey, look at me, fire a missile at them, and that makes them turn off their radar. Because, if they turn off their radar, they think they're not going to get hit. And because the radar's off, you're not shooting my bro, right? So check, mission success, right? So anyway, stuff like that. There's times where you would want to induce them to turn off their radars.
Wow.
So that's what SEAD is, whereas DEED is I see your radar, and now it's dead.
And now it's completely gone.
Right. So we're doing more of that, I think, now. But anyway, so yeah, like over there, Iran has a bunch of stuff, right? Like they're funded and equipped by Russia and China. So they have all kinds of shit over there.
Yeah, I woke up at 3:00 this morning. Come to find out we're in war again. I'm like,
right.
All right, hopefully it's quick.
It's nice while it lasted.
You know?
Yeah.
So how competitive was it to get into the U.S. flight test or the flight test school?
Yeah, so that's pretty competitive, right? You got to be...
Or the test pilot school, I guess you could.
Yeah, test pilot school, yeah. So you got to be a nerd, right?
Good thing you had a, nerdy background.
Right, exactly.
I know bombs and missiles. And
Bro, you are the nerdiest. Come on in, right? So anyway, I had a master's degree in engineering, which is not usual for a pilot going to test pilot school.
Right.
Like if you're a flight test engineer, that's like requirement, right? But for pilots, that's not as typical. Yeah, I mean, it's not typical, but anyway. But
so you mean to tell me that there's a good chance that there's an F-35 pilot flying around that is like his job before was IT?
Right. Yep.
Maybe it's a good idea to be friends with some nerds.
Yeah, I applied 3 times, dude. And it was, so the third time, well, I needed a waiver like 2 of those 3 times because they wanted guys that were younger in the Air Force.
Yeah.
It didn't matter your age, but your age in the Air Force, they wanted it to be younger. So I took a waiver from like a 3-star general. I think the DO of AFMC has to sign off on it. Anyway, so I applied the first 2 times, and I had a letter of recommendation from a 4-star general, but they kind of look at that as like a letter from your mom. So they're like,
Really?
Yeah. I think it actually hurt me the first time I went through the application process. Anyway,
He's a real good boy.
right.
He cleans up after himself. Very good.
So like I was in Korea, and my boss, I think he wanted like some bullets for his OPR.
Yeah.
And so
what's OPR? The acronyms.
Yeah, Officer Performance Reports.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. EPR, OPR, yeah. Anyway, so it's like your grade. How are you doing as an officer, right? And so my commander, I think he wanted some OPR bullets, and so he thought it'd be cool if he, got some guys that like got picked up by the weapons school, Top Gun school.
Yeah.
Got picked up by the test pilot school. He's like, hey, pimp, didn't you apply for the test pilot school? You should apply again. And I'm like, bro, I applied twice. I'm not applying again. Screw those guys, right? Because I was miffed.
Screw those guys. I'm going home.
Screw you guys. I hate you guys. I hate you. So anyway, so he's like, no, bro, you should seriously apply. And I'm like, bro, I need a waiver. Like I needed a waiver last time. He's like, bro, they'll give you a waiver. Just apply. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll apply. So I applied kind of almost against my will,
Yeah.
And I got picked up that time.
Oh, wow.
And it was, super competitive. They bring you out, you interview, they go fly you in like a C-12. They fly in a T-38. They fly you in gliders, and they assess your ability to they give you a bunch of test cards, and all right, bro, see if you can.
Gliders? Like gliders that you see floating around the mountain in Morgan?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So they would have you fly like test points in a glider.
Really?
So like they say your head, your hands, your heart, right? So you got the nerd skills, right? You got the engineering degree. Your hands, can you fly?
Yeah.
Can you fly a precise test point? Because it's a lot of precise flying, right?
Especially in the F-16 where
the stick doesn't even move.
Stick moves. It's like a 1/16 of an inch.
Right. Yeah.
Crazy.
And it's pressure, right? Not force or not displacement, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard. Yeah. Anyway, so flying precisely in that thing's kind of tough, but anyway, yeah. So then your heart is like your officership, right? Like you're getting good marks as an officer on your OPRs, right? So, I mean, it was an intense process. I flew in from Korea, so I'm totally jet lagged.
Yeah.
And I got to go fly a C-12, an airplane I've never flown before.
So how does that work? If you've never flown, like right now, I'm going to be picking up an aircraft on Monday.
Yeah.
I've never flown before.
Right.
And I'm over here like,
oh man.
Oh crap. It's like, okay, I need a Beechcraft certified CFI. Found him. Yeah. Teach me how to fly this thing.
Yeah.
So they just literally throw you into it?
Throw you in. When you're at the test pilot school for a year,
is there somebody in there that like knows how? Okay.
Got an instructor next to you.
I was like, are they just kicking you to the wind?
Yeah. They put you, the average student gets like 30 airplanes.
Wow.
So when I went through test pilot,
That's a lot more than I thought.
Yeah. So I flew the F-15C, F-15E, F-18, several blocks of F-16, flew the Mirage 2000 in France, Mirage 2000 for you French types.
For you French types?
The Alpha Jet, the Hawk Jet, flew MiG-15.
Oh, sweet.
Flew like an AN-2 Colt.
Really?
Extra 300.
And it's
like an old biplane. It's a tail dragger biplane.
What?
Huge.
Isn't that Antonov?
Yeah. You're smart. That's pretty good.
Dude,
most people would not pick that up.
Well, here I'm not. What was it? When was the snowstorm here? That big snowstorm. I think it was like
been years ago.
No.
I
know. No kidding. No, the big one. It was like Wednesday last week or something like that.
Yeah.
The AN 125 was in Salt Lake.
Really?
Yeah. They're dropping stuff off for the Dutch Air Force.
Wow.
Because I guess the Dutch Air Force or the Netherlands Air Force, one of those two. Anyways, they're doing some training with Hill. At least that's what Heidi Hatch from KSL said. Huh. But I went out there and it was snowing harder than it's like we got probably all of our snow in one go.
Right.
And I was out there just waiting for it to take off. I was out there for like 5 hours. I pulled my daughter out of school to come look at it.
Big machine, dude.
It was cool.
Huge.
But so
yeah, AN-2.
Wow.
CT 114, like all these weird, Fuga. You ever heard of a Fuga? It's basically like a glider that they strap jet engines on.
I gotta look this up.
Yeah, it's like an old trainer. Canada used them. It's French built, right? But it's
for you French types.
Yeah, for you French types. It is French.
How do you spell that?
Fuga, F-O-U-G-A.
F-O-U-G-A.
Yep.
There's a Fuga bread recipe. Do you want that?
I think it's a Magister or something like that.
Magister.
Yeah, Fuga Magister. So that's kind of a cool airplane.
I have seen these before.
Yeah, it's like
they've got super long wings.
Yeah,
super long wings.
Yeah, they basically took a glider airframe and slapped some.
That's pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, it's weird, right? And that's the whole point of the test pilot school is we want people to see weird stuff.
It's like the weird redheaded stepchild of a F-22 with that V-tail.
Right, it's got the V-tail. Yeah, it's a weird airplane.
Yeah.
Like the MiG-15, the reason we fly that is because it has the Mach tuck. So you may remember Chuck Yeager when he broke the sound barrier. He almost died because the X-1 had an elevator, which is you got a horizontal stabilizer, right? And then you have the elevator.
Yep.
Well, for supersonic, that doesn't work because the shockwave will sit right on top, right on the hinge line, and it washes out the elevator. So when you hit supersonic, the center of pressure shifts aft. Instead of being like at the quarter chord, it'll move back to the half.
Like how you typically see it with the F-18s.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's like right there behind the...
Right. It's right on the lowest pressure point. Anyway, so that shockwave will wash the elevator out. And then, an airplane has a nose down moment all the time. Right?
Yeah.
CG's out in front. So the nose will just drop and you'll go faster and faster. The shock will get stronger and stronger. And you'll get, you'll die, right? That's called Mach tuck. So the P-38 in World War II had that.
Really?
A couple of guys died because of that. So
it simply just makes it where it's like you can't
pull out of it.
You can't slow the plane down.
You would have
quick enough,
right? So like with the MiG-15, the only way
you'd have to be like 40,000 feet in the air,
right? So the only way to do it is you got to slow down, right? Because you can't pull out of it, so you got to slow down. So the MiG-15 has some big speed brakes, so you can slow it down. You go to idle and put the speed brakes out and you're good. P-38 I think you could have probably done the same thing, but they had real trouble with it. Anyway, we want students to see that. So Chuck Yeager, when he broke the sound barrier, he figured out that, he started Mach tucking and it was not looking good. So he started using the trim motor instead of using the stick. And so that moved the stabilizer, so now it worked.
Oh, okay.
So he's able to pull out of the Mach tuck dive. And so that's when we figured out, if you're going supersonic, we should probably have an all-moving tail. right? So you haven't seen a supersonic fighter that doesn't have an all-moving tail.
Is that like, wait, so all moving tail, is that including?
That's like the stabilator, the whole thing.
Yeah. My 182 has a stabilator. I love it.
That's awesome.
Set it and forget it kind of thing.
Piper Warrior has an all-moving tail, right? Like,
yeah.
So it's not like
I like to think I can go mock on like a nice cold day where the performance is just chef's kiss.
Right? So anyway, you want them to see weird stuff like, oh, here's something that's weird about the MiG. You'll love this. Okay, so there's no nose wheel steering. It's differential braking, right? But the braking is like a trigger on the stick.
Really?
And it's nitrogen gas, right? So they got a nitrogen bottle in the back. That's what opens your canopy too, so that's fun. But so, okay, if I want to...
It's a closed system.
Yeah.
So you're not like bleeding it off.
It is bleeding off.
Oh boy.
Right? So it's weird. So you got a nitrogen tank. And so if I want to like turn a corner, I put some right rudder in and then I squeeze the trigger and that'll go like that, right? Or, if I want to turn left. Oh, sorry. Anyway, so it's just bizarre, right? And if you squeeze too many times, you're out of brakes.
And then you
can't get out. Yeah, exactly. So you go off and
really hope that you don't have an emergency.
Right, exactly. So it's a nightmare. Anyway, just weird stuff like that, like directional stability. How does it handle on the ground? We want our students to see that, right? So you can see, oh, don't do that, right?
Yeah.
Don't be mental and like have nitrogen brakes.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's crazy that they were like, oh yeah, hey, we'll just put the brakes on with this nitrogen system that's literally connected to the way that you get out.
Right. Yeah. Bizarre. MiG-29 same way.
Really?
L-39. So L-39 is pretty much Russian technology. So we fly the L-39 at Test Pilot School. We fly a bunch of helicopters. So I've flown like UH-1, UH-60.
Really?
The Bell Jet Ranger.
So they're literally just trying to put you in as many aircraft as possible.
Yeah.
That is my dream job.
So fun, dude.
That's crazy.
Fun. Like the Air Force is really good at taking the fun out of stuff, but they couldn't do it at Test Pilot School. Like they tried to just bombard us with so many assignments and papers and
yeah,
but it's still just so much fun. It was the best year of my life.
So I mean, like, what broke you more in Test Pilot School? Was it the academics or was it flying the jets and flying the planes?
Right. So I mean,
and I guess helicopters too.
Yeah. Right. It is rigorous. Like, man, the reports that you're doing, the stuff that is coming at you all the time. I mean, it's insane. You get a master's degree in a year, which a master's degree is usually 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember we took, so.
What's the master's degree in?
Flight test engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, so flight test.
Nerd.
You're right. Nerd, totally nerd. At BYU, I studied compressible fluid flow. So that's like supersonic, hypersonic flows. And shock waves, all that kind of weird stuff. And that was a full semester class.
Okay.
Right? So, 3-4 months? I go to the test pilot school, and they cover the same material in a week.
Ooh.
It's like brutal academics.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And for me, I had already had the full-length class, so it was like, no big deal. But I was like, whoa, how are you guys? Because I was in there with several guys who hadn't had that class.
It's literally just drinking from a fire hose.
Oh, yeah. And it's, so you have a class for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then you move on to the next subject, 2 weeks of class, radar. And luckily, I'd studied a lot about radar, so I was good on that one. Like, I ended up having to teach a lot of the kids in my class that were in there with me, like, okay, bros, this is what you need to know about jet engines, all right? Like, and I had to kind of distill it down sometimes because I was fortunate because of my master's degree. I had already had a lot of the coursework, full.
You got the brain stuff out of the way.
Out of the way, yeah. So it turned out I could not have planned it, right? The way it turned out was just like, it just came together. And so it worked out really good, but it was pretty brutal. And I had flown a lot of the airframes. The main airframes at the test pilot school is F-16 and T-38, and those were my 2 airframes. Uh-huh. So it wasn't hard to learn those. I just had to learn the C-12, and then, like I say, they throw you in the front seat of an F-15C or an F-15E or whatever. And it's mostly like they teach you techniques, right, to learn how to jump into an airplane. It's like, okay. Switches forward means on, switches aft means off. Like that's just...
Explain it like I'm 5.
Right? Exactly. So you get to where like flying that Bonanza, I guarantee you, here's what you need to know. What are the V speeds?
Yeah.
What's bus glide? What's VY? What's VX? That's all you need to know.
I was literally just doing that
Gear speed, flap speed.
last night, 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have a little card
Yeah.
with my V speeds on there.
Right.
Luckily, it's G1000, so you can dial that all in.
Same.
Done.
Yeah, it's all displayed on the little tape.
Except I don't know why, but I get VX and VY confused.
Backwards all the time?
All the time.
I know, right? I know. It seems like I come up with a new trick to remember which one's which all the time.
Yeah, because in my private pilot check ride, I can't remember. It was either private pilot or instrument. I can't remember. We were talking VX, VY.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you mean VY? And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. You know, did I say VX? Oh, I meant VY. I don't know why. I just can't
It's hard to keep us
break those two.
I know it is. They're not intuitive. I don't know what it is.
I think that and then landing it, you know,
yep.
that I come from high wing, flying a lot of 182s, 172s. I've flown a few Cirruses, which I mean, that's low wing,
yeah.
some Pipers, Plautus, but like not enough where it's like, okay, I'm really comfortable with low wing.
Yeah, right.
It's weird, but anyways.
And you're probably like on the engine side, you know, the mixture and the prop. You're probably already familiar with that stuff, right? So
the Bonanza does have some weird stuff where it's like, okay, you need to be, when you're taking off, obviously you're power full or throttle full, mixture full rich, right? Whereas in the 170 or the 182, 180s, like
you can lean it
for density altitude.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, in the Bonanza, you're full beans.
It's freaking turbo, man.
Yeah.
That fixes a lot of problems.
It makes it
causes some problems, but it fixes
good.
Them. Yeah, exactly.
Could if I don't do my job right.
Yeah. So, you know, they just teach you how to look at an airplane, and I can look at this wing and I can tell you what kind of a stall characteristics it's going to have. Or I can tell you how it's going to handle high AOA, how it's going to handle you know, how fast is it going to go? I can tell you how it's going to roll. I can tell you Dutch roll. Like, is it snaky? Is it rolly? I can tell you that by just looking at the airplane. All right. So they teach you stability and control stuff. They teach you flying qualities, handling quality stuff. So that, like I say, I can look at an airplane and know, oh, bro, don't get in an asymmetric stall on that thing because it's going to spin off like crazy, right? And they'll teach us how to do spin test, spin recovery. So there's, depending on, like, we get all the nerdy equations, man. I could show you.
Freaking nerd.
I'll have to show you a video, man. Anyways, so you know, like, in an F-16 in a spin, well, let's say T-38. If you got a T-38 in a spin, which would be really hard, you would put pro spin controls on the ailerons because it's a fuselage loaded aircraft.
Okay.
Whereas on a Cessna like this, if it spins, you would want to do ailerons opposite of the spin. Yeah. So it just depends on, because it's a wing loaded aircraft.
Yep.
So they teach you the math behind all of that, and then we go out and do it in the lab, right? We go fly. So
yeah, I've been, you know, like I said, I'm friends with some folks that they fly jets. They fly fighter jets, and one of them actually is an F5 pilot, and I was like, those wings are really small.
Yeah,
like those are tiny wings. Seeing it in person is,
they're
you know,
thin
you're like, yeah, they're very thin.
Yeah.
And he's like, he explained it super well to me. Like, you know, explain it like I'm 5.
Yeah.
He's like, it is a toothpick that's flying through the sky, and like your elevators and ailerons and everything like that are simply just giving the ends of the wings little flicks.
Right.
And those little flicks are then what starts you doing your things.
That thing can roll 720 degrees a second.
Oh my God.
It's so sick. Like, if you go full, that's twice a second, man.
There would be nothing but puke all over that canopy if somebody started spinning me at 720.
Because all the weight is on the axis, right? There's no weight.
That's 2 spins a second.
Like, yeah.
That's bananas.
Right?
There's no way I'm going to do that. Get me off this ride.
So yeah, it's we teach a guy how to look at an airplane, how to get the V speeds. When I get in that cockpit, I can see, like, red switch is bad, right? The guarded switches are bad.
Yeah.
If you have to use those, it's a bad day. Don't touch those unless you confirm, like, what it's for. But all the, like, shiny, the ones that are worn out, those switches, like, when you want to take off, you put them all on, right? Put them all forward. right? And when you land and you're done, you put them all aft, right? I mean, it's pretty basic, right? I mean, we just teach people how to like quickly analyze. All right, how's this thing going to fly? And how
I would love to do
quickly
that.
look at a flight manual and be like, okay, that's the critical stuff. All right, let's go.
I would love to do that.
That's a lot of fun.
That's crazy.
It's like I say, we can get pretty nerdy with it, but
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of like a nerd jock nerd.
Yeah. Was there ever a time that you were questioning, like, if you were going to make it through school?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always the the ever popular, what was the number of that truck driving school? You know what I mean? Like everyone has that moment, right? Where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to graduate. But there's no question about that. Like just even going through pilot training is pretty intense, especially if you go fighter track. Like it's pretty rigorous, and it's pretty easy to fail a check ride, or you know what I mean. And you fail 2 check rides, and you're done. Yeah, if you don't get recommended to go on to fighter.
Do you have any busts?
I busted my my instrument check.
Really?
Yep, we had. Oh man, and it was really kind of a lack of imagination, I think. But I was doing my instrument check ride from Columbus, Mississippi. We were going down to Eglin Air Force Base.
I busted my private because
Did you?
Stupid soft field landings.
Oh, Softfield. Damn it.
I can land on Fremont Island every day of the week.
No problem.
For some reason. It was like, yeah, that was long. I was like,
Son of
dang it. The one time.
shoot. That's such a bummer.
Yeah. So you're going down to Eglin.
Anyway, yeah. So the weather moved in, and my instructor, he tried to, my evaluator, he tried to throw me a bone, like, hey, the weather down at Eglin is kind of turning to crap, because it was good when we filed and took off. But then it was turning to crap. We were getting updates in the air, and he's like, you could, there's Montgomery, you could go into Maxwell or something if you need to. And I should have taken the clue, I need to.
Yeah.
But I didn't take the clue, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, that's a good tip. And then we
Yeah,
kept
whatever,
going.
dude. Shut up.
I don't want to go to Maxwell. That's freaking Alabama. No, I want to go to the beach. Right. Anyway, so foolishly, I was like, all right, press. Sounds good. And we got to Eglin, and we hit the DA, and it was like, nope. So it's like, okay, now what? So we ended up diverting to Hurlburt, which is right next door, but it's they had just a little bit better ceilings. Anyway, so that was just, lack of imagination there. I think, when you're in a check ride, you're like, oh, I planned the flight to Eglin, so I have to go to Eglin.
Yeah.
Right?
If I don't go there, I'm going to fail.
Right, exactly. So, and now as an evaluator, in the Air Force for 10 years, and now for the FAA, I see the same thing all the time. I just flew a check ride today, where the kid, when something, I think this is what we're talking about. And we talk about this in the Air Force all the time. But we don't do a good job, I think, of telling people how your brain works. So, when something unexpected happens that you haven't seen before, your brain goes right in, and if there's stress involved,
Goes right into fight or flight.
Fight or flight. You go right into your limbic system. And as soon as you go into limbic system, your rationality is out the window, and your fine motor skills are out the window. So there's no just little adjustments on my ILS. No, it's 1 or a 0.
Yeah.
And I'm over controlling the crap out of the airplane, right? So that's how accidents happen, is people go into their limbic system and they never get out. And they over control the airplane right into the ground. So I think the Air Force is pretty good, and actually the airlines are pretty good, giving us a little checklist that helps us get back in our neocortex, get out of that limbic system, so you get back to rational.
Yeah.
Right? You're still juicing on adrenaline, so you're not going to be totally rational.
Right.
And you're still going to probably over control a little bit, but at least you got a chance now, right? Because you're back in your cortex. So you just in the Air Force, if you have an emergency, it's all right, I have the aircraft, I'm going to maintain aircraft control, analyze the situation, take the appropriate action, land as soon as conditions are met.
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath and fly the airplane, man.
Just go.
Yep. And that puts you instantly back in your cortex, because now you just stepped out of the situation, right? That's what the cortex does. It helps you step out of the situation and analyze yourself yeah, that sucks for me, doesn't it? I could die right here.
And I think, staying in that Linux system, then I think that's the biggest reason why we talk about it all the time, the different hazardous attitudes.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest reasons why you get the give ups.
Yeah. Some people, you never know how you're going to react, right?
I'm forgetting it.
some people freeze.
Yeah.
Some people turn and run, and some people like get aggressive, right? And that can be bad too when you're flying an airplane, right? 'Cause you can over control it, rip the stick out of the thing. Anyway, so
Machos.
you don't know which one you are until you're in that situation, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you can't armchair quarterback anything. But it's good to put yourself in that situation where like you get legitimately thrown off and put into that fight or flight mode, into your limbic system, so you can see how you react. And that's what I told the kid today, because he was boning stuff up that he should not have been boning up.
Yeah.
Like it's easy stuff, right? I mean, it wasn't detrimental. Like he was able to fix it, but it took him a minute to figure out, like to get back in his brain and
Be
sort
like,
it out.
okay, hold on.
Yeah, chill, take a breath, right? Fly the airplane, and then he was fine, right? And so I don't think we tell pilots like, bro, if you ever say, oh, then you need to really say, oh, crap, that means I just went into my limbic system. That means this is a really bad situation. And as soon as you look at yourself and say, yeah, he's in his limbic system, that sucks, you're instantly in your cortex, right? You just got back to rational thought. And now you can think clearly, okay, how am I going to handle this? All right, so my engine is on fire. Okay, I know what to do. I've been trained for this, right? So as soon as you get into that checklist, like, all right, I'm going to, full lean. I'm going to turn off the ignition. I'm going to turn off the fuel flow, all that stuff, whatever, right? That takes you out of the limbic system. But if you're a freeze type guy, or if you get into a PIO because you're over controlling it, you may never get to that part. So you have to learn how you react in that situation, and you have to devise coping mechanisms or a little trick that can get you back.
Right.
And once you do that, dude, like that's being a test pilot is like 90% like knowing how to chill when stuff's bad all around you. Combat too.
Yeah.
Like combat aviation is really like,
I feel like in combat, it's really easy to get off your game.
Oh yeah. And like I say, you never know, like it might be the little nerdy dude in the squadron who you wouldn't take to the bar with you, but he's the guy you want on your wing because he doesn't get rattled, right? He's going to be there for you. He's going to like shoot bad guys for you when the crap's hitting the fan, right? And it might be the king of the school who like turn tail and run. You never know, right? Until you get in that situation.
Right. Got to thank all of our sponsors for help putting this whole thing in the air. First, Precision Air Power. With over 50 years of experience, Precision Air Power is Utah's premier engine overhaul shop. They're an FAA certified overhaul shop, so if you need anything done with your engine, Precision Air Power should be your first call, or visit them at precisionairpower.com. Want to give a big thank you to Dr. Pete Sipos with Utah Flight Med. Dr. Sipos has a massive amount of experience, and he's located right here at Sky Park. So if it's time for you to get your medical, make sure you're giving Dr. Sipos a call or visit him on his website, utahflightmed.com. Was there a time in test pilot school where it was like, yeah, man, I belong here?
Yeah. So like I say, I had to teach a lot of the kids, a lot of my classmates, like I had to kind of help them out with the academics because they come so fast. And I had a lot of experience in those subjects. So it was easy for me to handle the flow rate in those classes. And so when I was like teaching these guys like, hey, this is what you need to know about this. Then I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of know my shit actually.
Yeah.
Because I put in the time, man. Anyway, so, and I'm a reasonable pilot. I'm not like they call us golden arms, the test pilots, golden arms. I'm a reasonable pilot. I can fly a pretty precise jet when I need to. I'm kind of a problem for the Air Force because I'm kind of like most fighter pilots are super anal and super competitive. Yeah. Super like OCD. Yeah. And I'm not like for a normal person, I might be more on that side than most, but for a fighter pilot, I'm not near OCD enough. I'm not near like alpha intense competitive enough.
So are you the fighter pilot that there's two different types of fighter pilots, I guess. Are you the ones that when you walk into a room you're like, I'm a fighter pilot,
right?
Or are you the other guy?
That. Yeah, I'm like I don't put my identity on that, although I love it. Like I love the freaking job. I don't know what else I would do, you know what I mean? And like I see guys around and they're doing whatever they need to do to look cool.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know those C-150, the C-150s that they fly? Yeah, I fly a C-172.
Right. It's impressive.
It's like, check that out, babe.
So it's kind of nice because like, you know, I have a friend who like, he has a Harley and a leather jacket and stuff. And it's because he needs to do something cool in his life. He needs some reason to say, man, I'm pretty cool. Right. Everyone needs that. Right. But, for me, it's like, bro, there's nothing that's going to compare to what I've been doing for the last 20 years. Like I don't really need validation. Cause it's like, bro, I've been so blessed to have these opportunities. I've done some of the coolest things I can think of doing that I'd ever want to do. So it's like, now I can just kind of enjoy it and chill. And I don't care what really people think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yes, you probably have a cool job, but mine's cooler, I'm sure. So I'll just leave it at that.
Whatever, bro.
Whatever, bro. That's a cool little bike you got. Anyway, so like I have two friends that are in the astronaut program right now. One that went to NASA and the other one that went private.
Yeah.
He went to Virgin Galactic. Anyway, so those guys, I'm like, bro, I can't compete with that. I haven't gone to space, but
that's wild.
Other than that, like, I don't know. I feel like I've had a pretty good go.
Yeah.
So
at what point were you like, did you go from, I like flying jets to I want to push the envelope of these jets?
These jets. I don't know, man. That's just
did it just kind of come naturally?
Right. Yeah. I'm kind of curious. Like I say, I'm not like the Air Force needs procedural. They need a guy who's not going to like go too far outside of what they tell you to go do.
Right.
And so like I always say, there's no points for creativity in the Air Force, man. They want you to do exactly what you're supposed to do. And they kind of take the fun out of stuff for that reason, right? Because they don't want you going off and screwing off. But I'm more like for a fighter pilot, I'll say I'm very creative. Like I'm more of a creative type. I like to think outside the box. I like to try new ways and I like to solve problems with new and creative and inventive ways. And I kind of have that reputation. Like at the Test Pilot School, I invented a way to reduce compressor stalls in the T-38.
Really?
And it was free. Like all we had to do was adjust it has a variable nozzle. Because when you go to mil power, you want the nozzle to clamp down.
Closes down.
Yep. Until you hit like a certain EGT
and
temperature,
then
it has to open up a little bit so it's not so hot.
Yeah.
But then when you go to afterburner, it has to open up.
What's the EGTs like on a 38?
Yeah, 835. Well, I can't remember T-38, but like the Viper's like 835. Depends on the block, the engine you got.
Jeez.
835, 895, like the 129's like 900 something. Anyway, so and that's not actually EGT. They call it FTIT.
Okay.
It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun.
So it's the fan turbine inlet temperature. So there's the high pressure turbine and the low pressure turbine.
Yeah.
So the sensor for the temperature is like right between those two turbines.
Okay.
So the gas has already expanded through one turbine, so the temperature's dropped quite a bit.
It's surprising to me that they're like 800 degrees.
Oh yeah. Because
the Cessna is like 1300.
Yeah, right. Because that's so EGT is exhaust gas temperature. That's like at the end of the nozzle. So in an F-16, you would have gone through the high pressure turbine and then 2 stages of low pressure turbine, and then you would go through the nozzle, which expands it even more.
Right.
So the temperature drops quite a bit. So strictly EGT is pretty low by comparison. So cylinder head temperature might be quite different.
Yeah.
Than like EGT, but like a fan turbine inlet temperature. So if the F-16 had a no kidding high pressure turbine inlet temperature, that would be over 1,000 degrees, right? It'd
like
1,200, 1,400 degrees, and 1,500. It might be more than that, right? That's like, by the way, that's the performance limiting parameter on a jet engine, right? It's how much heat can the turbine take. T4 is what they call it, because that's the fourth stage or station of the jet engine, right where it goes into the turbine. So that's basically the limit. That's why the F-22, by the way, can supercruise. It's really because of the performance of the motor, and they were able to get T4 much higher. I'll just say it.
Oh, really?
That's without getting classified.
Yeah, exactly.
T4 is really high, so they get a lot of performance out of that motor.
Wow.
So anyway,
Now, when you first strapped in to the Vista, what was like?
that's a weird airplane.
That's well, and you were explaining it as like, okay, hey, it's an F-16 platform,
Right.
but like Frankenstein
Yeah.
in a
So-
cool way.
Let me explain what that thing can do because it's cool. You can go look it up online, but Vista is kind of what it's called, right? Variable in-flight stability test. I can't remember what that T is. Anyway,
I think I've got it
test
written down
aircraft.
somewhere here.
Yeah. So I just call it Vista. But the thing,
Variable stability in-flight simulator test aircraft.
there you go.
A modified F-16 used to test new flight control laws, autonomy, and AI integration.
There you go. So like, if you want to build an airplane, you have to design the flight controls. And in order to design the flight controls, you have to do a bunch of wind tunnel testing and CFD analysis to figure out like, what are the stability coefficients of the thing? Like how stable is it in yaw? How stable is it in roll? How does it behave in pitch? Right? You have to get all those parameters. Well, this thing, dude, I can load up my stability coefficients on this computer. I can load up my flight control laws and my equations of motion, and I can go fly the thing, and that F-16 will go fly exactly how your prototype aircraft will fly before you've even built it.
Really?
It's sick. We have, so F-16
What?
fly-by-wire, right? It has a computer that runs the flight controls. Well,
Wait. So you're saying that, like, say they have an aircraft that has never
been flown.
It's never been flown.
Yep.
You can go in there and and basically tell the engine. You know what I'm trying to do right now is explain it like I'm 5. You can go in there and say, hey, the yaw is going to be this way, the pitch is going to be this way, the roll is going. How do you know that stuff
ahead of time?
ahead of time?
A lot of engineering analysis, a lot of nerd stuff.
A lot of nerd stuff.
Yeah. So we can, okay. So I can change the gains. I can change the stability coefficients on the fly. So I can take the F-16 out, the X-62. I can make it fly like the space shuttle. I can make it fly like a 747.
How'd they choose?
I can make it fly.
How'd they choose the F-16 platform to be this guinea pig?
So it's fly-by-wire.
Yeah.
That's number one. You got to have a fly-by-wire jet. So we put a digital overlay over the flight control system that has safety trips. So normally, like if you wanted to change the flight control law on an airplane, you have to go through a whole testing and recertification process. But with this thing, we have like a surrogate flight control law, flight control computer on top of our normal flight control computer that we can turn on and off, and it has safety trips. So now we can load anything on that thing and make it fly like anything without a new flight clearance and without so it's like fast. Like I can just load them up real time. In the jet, I can just be like, beep, beep, beep. Like I can change. So it's crazy. Like I say, the space shuttle, it's a lifting body. So a normal aircraft, when you pull back on the stick, it rotates around the center of gravity, right?
Yeah.
Beep. If I pull back on the stick, it goes like that. The space shuttle, it's a lifting body. So when I pull back on the stick, it doesn't rotate around the center of gravity. It rotates around a point that's like 300 feet out in front of it. So when I pull back on the stick, it rotates around this.
Whoa.
Boop. So I can make the F-16 do that. I can put that flight control law in there, that equation of motion in there, and it'll fly just. So if you wanted to practice land a space shuttle, you can go do it. So it's powerful.
Crazy.
Yeah. So the part that I was involved with the first flight, I flew with Evil Bill. Evil Bill's amazing. He's an old he's an old test pilot. He was on like the F-117 program, some of those things. But anyway, so he's in the back seat. I'm in the front seat. And so he's doing the dial of death computer stuff. We just loaded up on top of this now. We put an AI agent on there. So that's what makes it cool.
What year is this? Because like AI
like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, just barely.
So it's a recent thing.
Yeah, I think it was September 23, so a little over 2 years ago.
Oh.
I think. Might have been 24, but I think it was 23. So we basically upgraded the computer on the Vista so that it could handle, more. So it could handle like MFAs, so it could handle like the AI agents. So we just loaded up AI agents on there and we go out and dogfight, right? We give the AI agent, like the robot, we tell them, all right, don't hit the other guy. Don't do this. You're
essentially setting parameters.
Yeah. and then we go out and dogfight and see if the AI robot can learn some stuff.
Okay, so what's the
verdict?
what's the verdict?
It was so funny, dude. I was cracking up. So General Kane was flying Vista, and I was out in front as the dogfighting adversary.
Okay, so you're just flying.
I'm the human v robot.
Normal
jet.
Normal F-16.
Yep. And so the specific exercise that I'm talking about was a defensive set. So I'm out in front. All he has to do is pull some lead, turn on the gun, and I've got to try and jink and get out of the way of the gun and see what the robot does. Right. So,
and he's at this point.
He's hands off. Yep.
Oh boy.
So General Kane's just sitting there, hands off.
Could you imagine being along for that ride?
Right. So, and he's there to paddle it off. Right.
I get sketched out whenever I drive a Tesla.
I know.
And it's
in auto
you're
mode.
like, and it's like, all right, taking me home. Does it see that biker?
I don't know.
You guys, they're throwing it in jets.
Yeah. So he goes to gun me. And so I'm like, okay. So like normally what you would do if someone pulls lead, because you have to be in lead to shoot somebody, right? Because the bullets are going to go beep. Anyway, so he pulls lead to shoot. And so I clamp, right? And what that means is I'm going to put a lot of closure on him. And so what the robot should do is come off, right? Because he can't handle that closure. If he overshoots, then I'm going to be offensive on him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to kill him. So he should come off high. And then when he comes off, or if he stays in, I might jink. So that's what I did. He stayed in it. He stayed out in front. He did not come off. So, and that's funny because that's what students do. So the robot's doing exactly what like students do.
And it's but it's still
learning.
It's learning.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, okay. So I do a jink, and what he should do is counter roll, but he doesn't counter roll. He stays out in front. So he's like,
which is what a student would do.
Yes, which is what a student would do. So he's about to hit me. So General Kane to pull him off. Anyway, so, but it was interesting to see how it went from that, like, cause I gave him something that he hadn't seen before, right? I was showing the robot some stupid pilot tricks.
And there's I remember, I was reading it's basically a manual of like different, maneuvers.
Yeah.
For when you're in dogfight and stuff like that.
Yeah,
16, just with the background that I had. Did they essentially just load that whole book into this AI?
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they did, because it did very well in like, so if you do a rate limiting fight, like a 2-circle fight, where it's kind of a rate fight, that computer could hold a perfect rate all the way down to the floor. And he basically trapped me in lag. I was gaining on him, but it would have taken a while for me to get a shot off on him. I was just about to move a shot in when we kind of terminated the exercise. Like flew a flawless defense, rate defense. So, AI robots can do things like that incredibly well. And like I say, once the robot learns, oh yeah, just come off if he clamps, or counter roll if he rolls. Like once the robot knows how to do that stuff, dude, it'll be game on. We did, Deathclaw. So Deathclaw is using
That's a fun name.
Yeah, it's a fun one. So to shoot down someone air to air, I have to put my pepper on the enemy aircraft.
Yep.
And then pull the
trigger. That pepper is the circle with the 3 lines coming out of it.
Yeah, it's just showing where the bullet's going to be at that range, right? If I got a good radar lock. So for a human to maneuver to put that dot on and get a kill takes, so many seconds. Well, if the computer's doing it, AI is doing it, like I just tell the computer, all right, that radar lock I got, I want to shoot that. Boop. And it goes whack, like right to it, like bam, right? And the pepper's on and boom, it's over, right? So, and stuff like that, humans just can't compete with a robot.
Did you ever feel super competitive towards the AI?
Oh yeah. I want to beat that sucker,
You're like, the stupid robot got me again.
Right. So and it's funny because like dogfighting is kind of it's a pretty dynamic thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's not really what we're trying to get AI to do for us, even though, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What we really want it for is kind of the long, beyond visual range fight, right?
And I'm over here just using AI to retype some of my emails.
Right, yeah.
Make it sound more professional, brother.
There you go. Yeah, so, you've probably heard we're doing a lot of these it's a shepherd and sheep kind of deal, right?
Yeah.
We have a flock. They're CCA aircraft is what they're called. So I got a bunch of unmanned wingmen with me, and I can allocate. It's like I have a huge fighter with, 20 missiles because I'm allocating everybody's missiles. I'm allocating everyone's bombs.
Really?
And so I'll send that unmanned drone into the missile threat ring instead of me. And I can allocate his weapons. I can target him, whatever, right? So that's the goal. But really, if he's AI, I don't have to tell him what to do.
It'll automatically do
It'll
it.
just go do it. Yeah, I can say, yeah, see this target? Go check that out. Go ID this thing. If it's like what we think it is, then kill it. And it'll go do it.
So, I mean, were you secretly rooting for it? Or
Right?
were you
It's weird, right?
secretly hoping to beat it?
Right. Because I want to beat the damn robot, right? But at the same time, it's like I want the robot to be awesome.
Right.
Because we need it, right? Like we need awesome robots to go kill stuff that I don't want to go. Because it's getting unsurvivable out there. You know what I mean? Like people have stuff out there that I can't, like the F-16 can't go in places because it's not stealth. So the F-35 or F-22 can go in.
Because we're on
too.
5th generation, working on 6th generation
Yeah,
fighter.
exactly. So the F-16 is considered 4.5 gen, right? So it's
And
pretty
mind you,
good.
the F-16 started Vietnam era.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 71's when they started it. 74's when they first lighted it. So, I mean, that's like, 52 years ago? Yeah. I mean, they've obviously modernized it quite a bit since then, but yeah. So, you need AI robots that can go in and take care of business.
Because then, like,
and think
those
through stuff.
AI robots can run the seed stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's like the number one
We use
reason to
for
send AI dudes out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long do you think it is until they start sending them out?
Well, we're already flying them. Like
Really?
if you can read up on the Venom program at Eglin, like we're already flying that stuff.
I'm saying like in combat.
Oh, in combat? Yeah.
5 years?
So they just awarded a contract for CCA aircraft. I think Kratos is still doing it, the KY-58 or whatever it is. I can't remember what it's called.
KY, that's a Russian aircraft, isn't it?
It's Kratos's. You can look it up. Kratos CCA aircraft. It'll come up. But
I gotta see this thing.
yeah,
What does she
yeah. The
look
Air Force
like?
just awarded a new contract.
Pull it up, Jamie. What is it? The KY?
I can't remember. Sorry, man.
No, you're good.
It's Kratos.
CCA
Yeah, CCA.
aircraft. Let's see this thing. What do you look like? Collaborative combat aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Whoa, those are really cool.
a stealthy
Those are the
little
completely
fighter.
unmanned ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's your little loyal wingman, as we call them.
Yeah.
They-
The YFQ 42A is the
Very
aircraft
good.
one.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Which
the new one. Yeah,
It looks like, I'll try in post to put a picture up of it.
yeah, sweet.
Or if you're like on a cross country listening to this, just, Google it. Wow, these are cool.
Yeah,
They're very F-35, F-22-esque.
right.
But there's no cockpit.
Yeah. So the idea is, you want some manned fighters out there, and you want some unmanned fighters with them out there.
So are these unmanned fighters, are they similar to what you would see with like the Predator drone, where it's some dude in a Connex box in the middle of the Nevada desert flying these things? Or is it like...
You can do it that way, but it's better with the AI, right? Because then you don't need the dude in the Connex. That's kind of the beauty of it. Like it can take off and land autonomously. It can go hit targets autonomously. It can, you know what I mean? In theory, like I say.
that's kind of scary, I guess.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Because, like, I see it going, one of two ways. Obviously, yeah, this would be really cool to have and a great tool to use. But then at what point does it ruin air superiority?
Right, yeah.
Because like...
And take our jobs.
Yeah.
My job.
The freaky AI took our jobs.
Right.
Because like, I just see it being like, oh, yeah, now, this country that we're at war with has these. Send the robots, I guess.
Yeah, right. So Yeah, I think there's tons of stuff that robots can do
that's
better
going to be
than us
like
anyways.
way down the road.
Yeah. And there's no robot option, right? There really isn't. Like I say, there's the threat, like the air defenses are getting so good. And the threats, the technology is getting so good that a human can't survive in those arenas. So you have to it's getting to where you have to send robots.
But what does AI still need to do? Because human intuition, right?
Yeah.
Human intuition, we've got supercomputers in our head.
Yeah.
Intel forever ago tried to make a computer that literally was like a human brain, and it was like they estimated $13 billion, right?
Yeah.
So how does that, where does that human intuition come in?
Right. Like there's part of me, like you're saying, like there's part of me that's like, well, like think of, what was his name, dude? Battle Midway. They were out there patrolling, looking for, Japanese carrier group. And they spent all day, they ran out of gas just about trying to find a carrier group, couldn't find it. Well, they saw just an individual destroyer that was running pretty fast. So like, I bet he's going to take us to the carrier group. Right. And that's like a kind of a gut feel of a human that's like, and they followed him. And sure enough, man, it led them right to the carrier group. And they waxed like 2 carriers that day, 3 carriers.
Wow.
So that was a huge turning point in the Pacific. Was a Battle Midway. And it was because of a gut of one guy who was like, bro, I don't care that we're about to run out of fuel and we're going to have to ditch our airplanes in the ocean. We're going to find these guys. And I think that guy's going to take us to them. Right. So you think about stuff like that. Like, are the robots going to be able to do stuff like that? I don't know. Because that's game changing, right? Like, that's the difference between victory and loss, right?
Yeah.
So you hope that it seems like the AI robots are creative enough, like they have the ability to like learn quickly and to kind of figure things out. It's like, can they correlate clues that are inconclusive, right? That are insufficient to make because that's really what the intuition's filling in, right? It's like, I can't prove that destroyer is part of a carrier group that's nearby. I can't prove that he's going to lead me there. And it could be really bad if we follow this guy too far and we run out of gas. But I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
So that's not a real, like when you follow your intuition, it's not rational. So I don't know if the AI computer can do that.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's a good question.
Tells me like, I think probably not.
Probably not, but yeah, who knows?
But I mean, we're so like AI really has just hit the it's really just hit the availability, I guess, within the past 5 years.
Yeah, it's blown up.
So, I mean, we don't know where it could be 10 years from now. We could be Will Smith iRobot kind of crap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I think just 5 years ago at the Society of Experimental Test Pilots, they have a symposium every year.
God, I would love to go to that.
You should go. Yeah, anyone can go. It's in Anaheim, so you can go to Disneyland. And anyway, so you can go hang out with nerds.
If you go, let me know because I'll hop on a flight. We'll go.
Dude, you would love it. It's cool stuff. So, where was I going with that?
I have no idea. 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, 5 years ago at the SETP conference, the head of the FAA came and briefed us.
Oh wow!
And it was on AI stuff, autonomy, right? And she basically said, "That's years away. We can't even get it right in cars yet. But we're not. That's like way out there. The FAA is not even like."
It's like, well, let me tell you about an expendable military budget.
Yeah. So anyway, I think it's somewhere in the middle. But like, how comfortable are you having an airline pilot that's a robot?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Like maybe the safety record of an AI robot is going to be better than a.
Yeah.
But would an AI robot do what Sully did?
Yeah.
And save everybody that way? I don't know.
Probably not.
Right?
That's my thought. I don't think so.
And what's the ratio of boneheaded pilots killing people versus like inspired, like intuitive pilots saving people? I think we probably save more people than we know every day, right?
Yeah.
With our ability to intuit,
yeah,
the right course of action. But Geez, I don't know, dude. I don't know how long it's gonna be before I'm comfortable hopping in an airplane that
I've
flying, but
like Garmin has that Autoland thing, and we saw that happen with the King Air in Colorado, I think it was.
Yeah.
Where, it made its radio calls and landed and shut down right there on the runway.
Yeah.
And everybody's dead.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's...
I know, like, Sirius already has an Autoland feature.
Yep.
It's kind of... The one that they currently have is, like, by Garmin. I think they were showing interest in doing, like, a fly-by-wire for, like, the SR-22 or the Vision Jet. So, it was, like, fully legit Autoland. Bam. And it was, like, integrated with the airplane, not just with the autopilot. You know what I mean? And which I think, because Sirius, like their main objective is to be the most safe, like sick, good performance, but like the safest general aviation airplanes on the planet.
2 mile final, and you're a little uncoordinated. Caps.
Right.
Oh crap! I'm not using enough left rudder. Caps.
Caps. Yeah. It doesn't look good.
Oh, my Cirrus is 5 years old. Caps.
So anyway,
what's scarier, expanding the flight envelope, or, teaching that software autonomy?
Right. So I don't know. I think, man, it's a lot of fun being involved in the research aspect. Like that's the fun thing of teaching at the Test Pilot School is we have a research branch. And so like any crazy idea that you come up with, like the students always need a new test management program.
Yeah.
Like they need to test something. So, we bring in a lot of industry that they bring us projects, but then, as an instructor there, I can be like, hey, why don't we try this? They're like, all right, let's do it. So it's a lot of fun because, like I say, I'm kind of more creative, at least for a fighter pilot, test pilot kind of guy. I'm more creative. So, I can come up with all kinds of cockeyed ideas that we should go test, right? And so it's a lot of fun to it's kind of, a science experiment a little bit, but.
So, and then, your other day job.
Yeah.
Flying an Airbus.
Yeah.
How does that compare?
Bus driver. I'll tell you what everyone says about their airline job is the pay is good and I get a lot of days off.
Is it refreshing?
It's fine. It's funny because the Airbus is side stick.
Yeah.
Fly by wire, just like the F-16. And the flight control laws are almost exactly the same. I mean,
really?
Not exactly the same, but
similar.
They're very similar. Yeah. It's like G command when the gear's up. It's pitch rate command when the gear's down. It's both same. It has an AOA limiter. It's got, I think it's got a G limiter. I hope I never hit the G limiter on the Airbus. Anyway, so it's got a G limiter. Fun. It's got it's like 2.5. The F-16
Please
like
stop.
9.4. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, so that's kind of cool that it's like similar. And I kind of geek out when I'm looking at the, it's got 7 flight control computers and how they overlap. Some ailerons are controlled by this computer, some by that. Anyway, I geek out on that stuff.
Yeah, so, I do too.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? And how the Airbus is macked is still quite interesting to me. Like the French do a pretty good job. When I flew the Mirage 2000 over in France, I was pretty impressed with their flight control laws. And now flying the Airbus, it's like, wow, they've got it pretty wired, no pun intended, right? Like it's pretty legit. Like, good example. Well, we do this on the F-35 too, I guess. F-16. F-16 is G command until it's not, right? So like if I'm going uphill 45 degrees nose high, if I let go of the stick, it wants to pull 1G. Well, to fly 45 degrees nose high, that's like 0.7 G. So I have to push to get it to hold that. If I let go of the stick, it pulls 1G, which means it goes up over like that, right? It pulls 1G over all the way over that. Well, the Airbus, G cosine theta. So theta is the deck angle. So it's the
freaking nerd.
Nerd. So if I set, 20.
I just changed your name in my phone to nerd.
Consummate nerd. So if you go 20 degrees nose high on the Airbus and let go of the stick, it doesn't hold 1G. It holds, the 0.8 or whatever it would need to hold 20 degrees nose high. So I let go of the stick and it stays right where I left it. That's how the French flight controls are. Our F-35 does the same thing.
Yeah.
So they've incorporated, like, we're talking fly-by-wire system that was designed in the 70s. You know what I mean? So it was pretty damn good.
Wow.
They've gotten better, but, like, not that much better. Like, the F-16 is still pretty legit. So the Airbus has artificial roll stability. So if you get more than like 35 degrees of bank, it will return you. So if I
It'll
get
bring you
40,
back.
it'll bring me back. So it's spiral stability, right? Whereas the F-16 doesn't have that. Well, because I don't want that, right?
Yeah,
I want
F-16 can do that too.
Exactly.
Like, what was the airliner that they barrel rolled?
Yeah. Oh, geez, what was it?
I can't remember.
7.3 or 7.2 or it was a Boeing probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were just.
You can do it as long as you don't overspeed and over G, right? So you just have to plan every point on that thing. Any airplane could do it.
Pull back, rotate.
Yeah.
Almost like you're like.
Yeah. Because the roll rate on an airline is real slow.
Yeah.
Because the wings are so long, right?
So you mean to tell me that it's not doing 720 degrees in a second?
In a second?
Frick.
Yeah.
First class is freaking out.
So that's
My Bloody Mary.
you've spilled it.
How
all
dare
over
you?
me. Yeah, exactly. Dude,
First class is now snotty, just Englishman. Huh.
So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, going and flying for the airlines is like, it's fun to travel.
Yeah.
It's fun to see new things. It's flying. Like flying's flying. Like I love to look outside. I love my view. I like to look out windows.
Yep.
Right. So,
Do they taste good?
and I'm sure like my FOs are just like, oh, bro, you're such a nerd. You know, because I'm like, the delta P on the pressurization system is 8 psi. Well, if you do the times that by the area of the window, that's like 3,000 pounds of pressure pushing out on this window right in front of your face. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh my god.
so I'm sure they're just like, oh, bro, shut up.
And I'd be over here like, yeah.
Cool.
Tell me more. Go up and push it. Now, how much is it? Like, how much am I adding to it?
How much now? So anyway, it's fun to fly. I'm not like, oh, bro, you see that last ILS I just did?
Yeah.
It was so sick. It's like, no.
Greased it on there.
Greased it, bro. So, and I found like the harder you land, the more people compliment your landing. Like if I grease one on, it's like so sick. I'm like, bro, that was probably the best landing any of these people have ever felt. I'll get like 0 compliments about it. Everyone's just like, whatever. Bye.
It's those landings that you have to keep the cockpit door closed.
Yeah, right. It's like,
Are they gone?
Like, oh, nice landing. Right. Are they gone? Exactly.
I had a friend of mine say, because he just finished up training for the CRJs.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I hope I get better at landing. And he's like, they're professionally firm.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I know exactly what you mean.
Well, the Airbus is so easy, dude. It's got this little dude, this little French guy. He's telling you how high you are.
Yeah.
So it's like 50, 30, 20, 10, retard. He's telling you. It's not a bad word in this case. In French, that means like pull your throttle back. So anyway, he says, retard.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, exactly. Son of a freaking French, dude. Anyway, so you pull the power when it tells you to pull the power. And then I like at 30 feet, I start rounding out. And then at like 10 feet, I start getting more serious about it. You know what I mean? Like, and I look at the end of the runway and the 0, you know what I mean? It's like kind of fly by the numbers. You go back to the F-16, it's all hand flying, man. So, and you're way lower to the ground when you touch down.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, round out to land. Oh, son of a, I'm still like 10 feet up. Okay, let it down. Okay, round out. Nope, still down some more. So I have to like, when I go back, I just flew at Edwards like yesterday. So like when I go fly the F-16, I got to be like, okay, like just carry a little extra speed so that I can flare 3 times.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna have to let it down. Anyway, so
F-16s need that little Frenchman.
50, right? 50, 30.
You're like, oh, I know this one. I could do this.
Yeah. So if I just tell myself like, say, oh crap, a couple more times before I flare, like F-16, say, oh crap, a couple more times. Okay. Like make the ground like look really close.
Yeah.
And then flare. Okay. So I'm getting pretty close. I'm pretty good at jumping back and forth. At first it was weird.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But I bet there's that like, yes, flying the airlines, very regimented, doing the same thing over and over. And then like going the F-16, it's like, I'm home.
Yes. It's so nice. Dude, I do spin training.
Yeah.
So we'll go put the airplane out of control. So we'll go up to 40,000 feet. We'll do a tail slide, do an inverted spin.
In the F-16s?
In the F-16s, yeah. We'll do roll couple departures, right, where we just get it rolling, put a ton of AOA on it, whack, and then it goes just crazy, right? It's a pretty violent departure. And we teach the kids, we're teaching them, like, what are the different modes that you can spin an airplane or depart it from controlled flight? And then B, how do you recover from that?
Yeah.
Right? So when we go out and test, we want to, like, do it safely, methodically. We build up in energy, like really benign deep stall, really benign spin, really low energy, and we work up to like higher and higher energy stuff. So like I say, the roll couple departure, man, we get it rolling fast and then whack, put it out. And it goes pretty nuts. You can do that by like asymmetric load. If you put multiple missiles on the wing, and you just do a wind-up turn, like a G turn, the heavy wing will advance, and it will put you sideways.
Similar to like what you would have with if your power is mismanaged on multi.
Yeah, exactly. It'll put you sideways. And when you go sideways with a swept wing, that wing that's in the wind will go whack. And
it wants to go down.
Yeah, the washed-out wing is not doing anything.
Yeah.
So it's totally asymmetric lift now. So it just spirals off. It's pretty wild. It's fun. It's violent. But yeah, I'll do that like one sortie. I'll do 17 falls from 40,000 feet down to 20,000 feet.
So when are you and I going and doing that? Because like, I mean, this, an incentive like that would be pretty freaking cool.
So cool.
I bet
if we did, that's what we would do.
I bet you can't make me puke. I'll make it competitive.
Really?
I bet you can't pass me out.
All right, let's do it. Game on.
You find an F-16, throw me in there. I'll have 2 bananas. We'll call it.
Money. Dude, it's so fun. That's the only time I've never been sick in an airplane. That's probably the only time where I get close. Like Navy week, we get the Navy brings their guys out and fly with our test pilot school.
Uh-huh.
We send our guys and go fly with them. We go fly in France. We go fly in England. We fly with all the test pilot schools of the world, and they come to us too. Anyway, so when the Navy guys come out, they all want to go pull 9Gs, and they all want to go put it out of control, right?
Yeah.
So I'll do like one week I did 10 sorties in a week, 2 a day for a week, where you're doing up to 40, fall down to 20, up to 40, fall down to 20, and we're spinning.
That beats you up.
Oh my goodness, I was so beat. And I almost, like that last day, I almost got sick in the back seat because I'm in the back seat for a lot of those. So I'm putting some pilot who's never flown an F-16 in the front. And I just about lost it on that one. But that's the closest I've ever been to getting sick.
Wow.
That roll couple departure can toss you pretty good.
Jeez.
So, and it freaks people out too. Like when you do an inverted spin, you'll get people like, "Oh, sir, you have the aircraft."
Your controls. Take them now.
Because you're hanging in the straps like this, up against the canopy, like that, and you can't reach the rudder pedals. And to stop the spin, you need the rudder pedals if you're inverted. And you can't get out of the deep stall because you can't reach. There's an override switch that allows you to gives you a little more pitch authority. So it basically turns off the limiter so you can get out of a deep stall. But you got to be able to reach it. And if you're hanging upside down, you can't. It's clear down there. Yeah, you can't reach it. So dudes freak out. They're like, I can't reach the pedals. I can't reach the override switch. Sir, you got the aircraft. So it's kind of funny.
Gosh.
And it is pretty unsettling. The first time you do an inverted spin, you're going to be like, whoa, bro. Because you're not just upside down, negative G, hanging upside down. You're like spinning too. So, yeah, it's pretty wild.
I wouldn't know what way is up.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I have heard that is like one of the biggest things is there's a name for it.
Yeah.
Where you can't tell what is up or down. Gosh, what's the name of it?
Yeah. I mean, spatial D is one thing, but this is like
it happens to a lot of Navy pilots flying over the water.
Oh, yeah, right.
Where
you can't tell.
Yeah. Shoot, I can't remember what the name of it is.
And the F-16's bad that way because, well, most airplanes are, but you trim to 1G. So if I'm upside down, it's still pulling 1G.
Yeah.
But sideways, it's still pulling 1G. So
there's a helicopter flying by.
Right.
I'm a typical aviation nerd.
Right. Who is it?
Pulling it up right now. Well, earlier there was Classic AirMed.
Okay.
They're, what is that, Bell 407? Yeah, Bell 407.
Nice.
Earlier, before you came, Apache.
Right.
I think that's what it was. dude, he's like, Sky Park traffic, Death Raider. It was something crazy. Like, and I was like, my ears perked up because I had the radio on. I was like, what? Walk outside, and yeah, homie's he's like taking runway 35. Low, fast, and then he just pulls back. I was like,
oh my goodness.
That was freaking cool, man.
So cool.
That's wild.
That's a cool machine.
Oh yeah. Anyways, I completely derailed us right there. So being an SAE, DPE, how does that influence how you critique flying?
I have to try really hard not to get too because I'm teaching the test pilot school. We're teaching like engineering level.
Yeah.
Super nerd level. So I got to be careful not to be too disappointed when a kid is like barely understanding the rote answers, right? Like not even understanding why, not understanding at a deeper level. I have to be really careful as a DPE.
Yeah.
That I don't like.
Have you ever caught yourself?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I try to stick to, the ACS.
Yep.
The blasted ACS and not get.
Is there an ACS for SAE?
So like F-16, if I go get a type rating in that, it's the same thing as an ATP as far as the ACS. So I just use the ATP ACS.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
single engine for F-16, right? So they got to go do all the stuff that an ATP guy goes and does.
Good to know.
But in the F-16. So yeah, kind of there is, but kind of there's not.
It's kind of like you just feel them out.
Yeah. So I the FAA has you build, an evaluator has to build his own POA, plan of action, right? And that plan of action is customized to the type of check ride you're doing. And it's my document, it's for me, is to make sure I hit everything and that, I can put a lot of my oral questions on there or whatever, right? So I had to add a bunch of stuff for my F-16 POA that is more like kind of Air Force, the way we do things in the Air Force kind of thing, because it's the way the F-16 works, right? There's critical action procedures, CAPS, and you need to know how to do those things or you could die. If you have an engine fire, you better climb stores jet, right? Like you need to have that memorized. So like I had to add that kind of stuff, and I had to add, all the F-16 specific stuff. But like going out and doing a private pilot check ride with a kid that's got 40 hours and knows
like,
nothing.
Sir, I'm 12.
I'm 12. I want to fly. Yeah, so I have to like really tone it down. But I don't know. I'm probably too big picture for the FAA too. Like they've gotten after me like, bro, your pass rate's too high. So
really,
but it's not. It's because I haven't been doing it that long, and I haven't done very many.
Yeah.
So my results are probably not statistically significant. I pull the nerd, explanation on them. Yeah. Because it's true. Like I haven't done enough check rides to really have the same average as a guy who's done. Like if a guy does 1,000 check rides, yeah, he's probably going to be 74 to 85% pass rate.
Yeah.
I'm not that because I haven't done 1,000 check rides. You know what I mean? I have a very small pool of applicants that I've tested, Yeah. And I've done most of my tests like at some of the local flight schools that are legit, they're doing pretty good work with their students.
Yeah.
Like their professional programs that they require their students to be there and study and you know what I mean? So they're testing pretty strong.
Yeah.
So if I was like, I don't have time, I don't know. If I was testing everybody, little Joe Bob with his little his own little hangar and his own little, he teaches kids in his little airplane, on the weekends or whatever. Yeah. Then probably I'm going to get some more fails, right? Right. So it's weird because like the FAA would never tell you, hey, you got to get a quota of failures, right? They're not going to tell you that, but they do look at your stats. And if you don't have enough failures, they're going to be like, bro, you know what I mean? That's not normal. You should be.
Hey, so we're going to have a representative from the FAA on your next check ride. Right. Okay?
Yeah, I've had that. We talked a lot about it.
That is their way of a quota, I guess you can say. It's like, interesting.
Yeah. So, yes, statistically, like you should have a certain number of failures, but I don't know. I'm not looking for ways to fail kids for sure, but I feel like I know what safe looks like. So I am going to be like, bro, that's the ACS standard is this, I gotta hold you to that kind of thing. So I try to be fair and legit, and I try not to like hold people to an impossible standard.
There's definitely those DPEs out there that are like,
I know.
You didn't hit the middle of that stripe.
Right.
Plus or minus 10? Yep. There's 11.
Yep.
See ya, bud.
Right, exactly.
Have a good one.
I think honestly, like if I'm being honest, I think the FAA does a pretty good job because they tell you like, bro, we're not looking for perfection. If they exceed standards, as long as they recognize it and fix it, it's fine, right?
Yeah.
So they're actually like, they're legitimately trying to be like pretty big picture about it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're the FAA and they're not big picture about anything, right? Like they're like
it is this way or the highway.
This way, yeah. So I get it. I've overall, it's been a good experience.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been a good experience. And, I'm just trying to get back. I have 3 jobs, so it's not like I'm trying to make a bunch of money on being a DPE. I feel like I probably charge less than most DPEs.
Really?
Because I'm not like, I'm losing money either way. When I'm doing a DPE check ride, I could be making more, flying for the airlines or doing something else.
Or check riding people on F-16s.
F-16s, exactly. I could be making a lot more money doing that.
Does the general aviation side kind of keep you grounded a little bit?
Yeah, it kind of helps you remember why we do it, and stuff. And well, I debrief all of the CFIs. Like today, I was a little bit late getting here because the CFI, I felt like he needed some debriefing. You know what I mean? It's kids teaching kids.
Yep.
And, they're going through these pipelines and they want to be an instructor just long enough to get their hours and then they're gone, right?
Yep. See ya.
Yeah, exactly. So there's very little corporate knowledge that's like it's not like having a 65-year-old instructor who's been teaching for 40 years, right? Like
this is my 315th student.
Right, exactly. And
I was Gold Seal back in 1985.
Exactly. So, that they don't know what they don't know. And a lot of these guys are GPS babies, right? So they can't calculate a 60-to-1 rule. God, they can't calculate.
I love round dial.
Yeah, right.
Round dial is
challenging. It's good.
I hope that, I think I'll get like a little gig, maybe flying some cargo. Get some hours doing that. Yeah. And I have a friend
Mountain Air Cargo's right here.
Huh?
Ameriflight, Mountain Air Cargo.
Yeah, Ameriflight. They fly the RC something or other, but multi-engine, turbine.
Yeah.
Mostly steam gauge. Yeah. And I'm like,
that's legit. Yeah.
Give me some of that.
Right, exactly. I think that's totally legit. And
seeing a steam gauge, like, the G1000 is cool, but when you open up the cockpit door and you look in and there's a steam gauge, it's like pulling out the middle of a Playboy. Whoa.
Oh, look at that.
Look at those things.
Right.
Getting all hot and bothered. Woo! Fire up.
Do it. So yeah, I debrief them like, look, bro, you got to be teaching this, you got to be teaching this, you got to be teaching this, because I want them to get stuff that's transferable to the jet world.
Yeah.
If they're going to go fly jets, man, they better be learning some jet stuff.
Yeah.
So there's techniques that work in a Cessna and work in a jet. And so that's the one I want them to use. I don't want them to use the one that only works in a Cessna.
I mean, at the end of the day, most planes fly the same.
Yeah.
There's little differences here and there, like having to take off mixture full rich or whatever.
Right.
Like
it's an airplane.
At the end of the day, an airplane's an airplane.
Yeah.
You need air going over the wing and under the wing for it to take off.
To work. Yeah.
It's like, it's all the same.
All the same, man.
But, I like to finish off all the podcasts with just, some quick fires.
Okay.
Right?
All right, here we go.
Favorite candy bar?
Snickers.
Oh,
yeah.
When you get a little hangry, do you just rip a Snickers?
Oh, rip it. I got one in my bag right now. I got break glass if hungry.
Yeah. The Butterfinger's making I've
they're pretty legit.
This past Halloween, I was like, hey, Butterfinger's actually pretty solid. But favorite jet you've ever flown?
F-16.
F-16, hands down.
Yeah.
That's easy
so
enough.
sexy. So sexy.
What about the most overrated fighter jet?
Want to touch it?
I want to touch it.
Overrated fighter jet? Oh, man. I have to say F-15 because of all my Eagle bros. We have this rivalry.
Okay.
Right, where they're like, oh, your F-16 is like missing an engine and a tail, bro. And,
That's cute.
It's just really cute. It's funny. So we always like on the F-16 we have a feature. Well, a lot of fighter jets. When you go to SEC, there's Pri and SEC. Primary mode is like full authority digital engine control.
Yeah.
Deck, right? When you go to SEC, it's like partial and kind of partly manual too.
Yeah.
But it gets rid of your nozzle control, so your nozzle just goes to 0. So when we taxi by the F-15 guys, we always go to SEC. So like your nozzle closes down. Like, no, bro, not open for business.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
It's pretty
That's just something that only like
Right.
somebody flying jets would be like, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. Anyway, so there's a healthy rivalry between
Fair.
F-16 guys and F-15 guys. So I have to say, obligation to the Viper community, I have to say that the F-15 is the most overrated jet.
There you go.
But it's actually pretty legit. But I can beat it. But it's legit. But I can beat it.
So your preferred dogfight setup, one circle or true circle? And you're going to have to explain that.
Okay. So favorite dogfight position, my favorite position
Okay.
is single circle. And the reason one circle fight is because one circle fight is basically telling the other jet, I have no respect for you, right? Like, I will dominate you. I will own you right now.
Okay.
Watch me, right? And so, like, a two circle fight is like, bro, this guy's legit. That airplane, it can turn, so I've got to respect it. Right?
So what is one circle and two circle?
Okay, so when you
Explain it like I'm 5.
okay,
Because I did my research.
Yeah.
I know what they are.
Yeah.
But explain like I'm 5.
okay, here we go. So it's called a high aspect fight.
Okay.
That means I'm beak to beak with the adversary, crossing like this. So I'm doing about 500, he's doing about 500, so we're closing at 1,000 knots, right? So as soon as we pass, single circle is I'm always going to turn across his tail because I've got some offset here for the camera.
Yeah.
I've got some room to turn. So with that offset, I'm going to turn that into some angles. So I'm going to try and cheat a little bit and turn early, right? And he's probably going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So if he turns across my tail and I turn across his tail, that means we both know what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Because I would never turn away from. If I turn away from him, I'm giving him all kinds of room to come and kill me.
Yeah.
So if I know what I'm doing, I'm going to turn across his tail, right? So he's going to turn across mine. And so that drives a two circle fight, and we're going to meet again, and we're going to meet again. But if I'm like doing a better job of optimizing my energy, instead of meeting beak to beak, we're going to meet where I'm like almost ahead of him. Like I'm almost gaining on him to where I'm behind him, right? And then we'll go by. And again, next time I'll be even more behind him. Right? So those are kind of like winning cues.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so a two circle fight's going to take longer. But even now, like we have missiles now that can go across that circle. So it's weird because that's a two circle fight.
Yeah.
One circle fight. One circle fight is he turns across my tail and I'm like, bro. And I turn the same direction. And so now that's a one circle fight because we're both on the
And
same
you guys are
ship.
coming back to nose.
Yeah, we meet nose to nose at 180 instead of 360. So it happens a lot faster. But it's like the F-16, we have nose rate. We have superior nose rate compared to anything unless you get vector thrust.
Yeah.
The F-22.
F-22.
So, and to be honest, the F-15 has about the same nose rate that we do if it's clean. But I think a clean Viper will still beat a clean Eagle. Like a clean Viper with a 129D motor, GE 129D motor, will probably outturn a clean Eagle.
And by clean, you mean
Nothing on it. Yeah.
No armament.
Yeah, no.
Most people
external
think
tanks.
clean. It's like, oh, my flaps are out.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Okay. So anyway, so the F-15 in the fourth gen platforms is pretty comparable to the F-16, but just about any other fighter, I'm going to go one circle and I'm going to dominate them because our nose rate is freaking superior. Anyways, so that's why I like the single circle fight because it's like, bro, I own you.
You're my bitch.
Exactly.
G limiter on or off?
Well, I like a G limiter because it keeps me. I don't have to be smart. I can just pull.
That's fair.
And it, but I don't know, man. Like, if you saw Top Gun Maverick, right? He over G'd the F-18 up to like 10 point something, right? And it saved the day. So
Wow. Thanks, Tom
no G
Cruise.
limiter.
You're
Thanks, Tom
my
Cruise.
hero.
So there's that.
Wow.
I like a G limiter. It's nice.
What about helmet visor, up or down?
I always have mine down. I don't know. At night, we have a clear visor or we put it up.
Yeah.
But visor down, it's so bright, dude. You're up there in this freaking ionosphere, and you got this bubble canopy. It goes clear down. You know what I mean? So you're getting light from every direction. So I don't know, man. When you're in a Cessna, you got that roof over your head. It kind of makes it, So
I got little visors too.
Exactly. I got no visors. I got no sunshades. I got no ceiling.
I feel like a 777 Dreamliner pilot when I pull it down. I'm like, if I had a HUD, this would be freaking
cool.
sick.
I don't know that. There's got to be a cell phone function you can do.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's an STC out there.
Right? HUD my Cessna.
That'd be wild.
App, yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, dude, just take down the HUD. What? That's like next level.
Right.
Somebody's going to do it. If not aviation, what career would you be in?
Bro, I don't know. Like I say, when I think about that, I almost cry because I was something else. I did engineering and I cried. You know what I mean? Like, I love engineering. Like, I love building cool stuff. But if I wasn't flying, dude, and that Finney flight's coming for everyone.
Yep.
That last flight.
Unless I learned, unless you move to Australia.
You can fly to your dead.
There was basically you fly until you don't get a medical.
Yeah.
I had somebody on the podcast.
Yeah.
Name's Brad. Great guy. Love him.
Yeah.
He's Australian. I've brought him up a couple times on the podcast, but he blew my mind because he was like, "Oh yeah, there's like in Australia, yeah, you don't like you can be 67."
Yeah, wow.
There is no cutoff at 65. There is no forced retirement at 65.
It's a two-man aircraft.
That's pretty freaking cool. He's like, as long as you can hold a medical,
right?
That's
how it should be. Yeah, I totally
ain't
agree
no
with
term limits over there, brother.
Right? Damn.
So you got that.
That's how it should be. Yeah. We almost went to 67, but the union shot it down.
Yeah.
That was one reason I was like not happy with my union because I did not want that shut down.
Yeah.
I want to fly on up 67. I want to fly on up 70.
Keep flying, baby.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's a medical. Why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Who'd win in a dogfight? 25-year-old you or today you?
That's a really good question, actually.
Well, I guess not 25-year-old. Let's say
right, 32. Yeah,
32-year-old you or today you?
I think today me, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. They call it old man BFM, right? So, okay, we talked about your brain, how your brain works.
BFM.
Yeah, BFM.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, sorry. Basic fighter maneuver. It's dogfighting.
Right? You freaking, military guys in your acronyms.
Right? Sorry, man. So,
I would love to hear somebody just speaking nothing but acronym. I'm just like,
okay.
Sure. Sounds great.
So like, when you get older, your brain slows down, right? But because you have a vast wealth of experience, like you've seen everything, so you can see it developing before it happens.
Yeah.
So I know where to be and where to look, before it happens. Whereas when I was younger, I didn't have all that experience. I could react faster.
Yeah.
I had the strength to turn around and, actually see the guy behind me
to be like,
and react to him.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, he's probably back there somewhere. I bet he's trying to gun me right now. Like, old people, when they're backing out of the driveway, they don't even look anymore. Right?
Nope.
They can't turn around. Right?
Jesus, take the wheel.
Exactly. So they just come on back, right?
My grandma and grandpa are terrifying whenever they drive.
Yeah. It's kind of like that, man.
Crap out of me.
Yeah. So we call it old guy BFM, old guy dogfighting. I know exactly what he's going to do before he does it.
Yeah.
And I fight accordingly, and I can beat him pulling 6 Gs, even though he's pulling 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I can still pull 9 Gs. I go out and pull 9, like Navy week. They all want to pull 9 Gs. So I'll go pull 9 Gs 10
God,
times
I just
a
want to
week.
go and experience that.
Dude, it's intense.
Can you get me in a centrifuge?
Most people would be like, why?
I just want to see my face go jello.
It's something, man. You should do it.
I'm going down to, I'm hoping to, with my buddy Steve, Grizzly Bear Air, shameless plug, go follow him. I was telling him the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I want to go down to Arizona State University. They have, hypoxic chamber.
Oh yeah.
They do hypoxic stuff.
I just did that at Hill like last week.
Yeah. I want to go and do that so bad.
That's pretty interesting. Everyone should.
See what it's like.
Right. You need to know, because everyone's symptoms are different too.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to recognize it.
I've gotten close to hypoxia once. I was able to catch it very quickly. I noticed my nail beds were getting blue.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay.
There you go.
But anyways, yeah. So
yeah, I think today I could probably. Well, I mean, I was more proficient at the BFM stuff than I am now because I'm doing tests. I'm not doing dogfighting every day.
yeah.
Probably at my peak was when I was at Eglin. Like we would dogfight all the time. So what was that? 2014. That was probably when I was at my best.
Yeah.
So 15 years ago, I was 40. So I bet 40-year-old Matt could beat 32-year-old Matt or 55-year-old. I'm a 54-year-old Matt. But
Wow.
I think like I think 54-year-old Matt could still beat 32-year-old Matt.
Give him a good fight.
Mm-hmm. Because, like I say, you get to where you can read the other guy and you know what he's going to do. You can, like I say, you can beat a guy with 6 Gs where he's pulling 9. Yeah. So
Work smarter, not harder.
exactly, that's exactly right. So, and there's also this. There's the fly by the numbers procedural guys that are really good at flying procedure, and then guys that are really good at stick and rudder feel. They're more feely. You know what I mean? And so, and I see it on check rides all the time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy will like tank the ground eval, but he's like an amazing pilot. That happens all the time.
That's me. I suck at ground.
You know, that's
I know the information. I have a hard time explaining the information.
right. And it's jock versus nerd. Essentially, it's right brain versus left brain, right? Your right brain's kind of your jock side, and your left brain's your ground eval side.
I could fly the shit out of an airplane.
Right, exactly. So I usually that's like if
I'm saying this like I'm flying something crazy. I'm flying a freaking 182, bro.
I can fly the shit out of
I can fly the wing. I can fly the landing beacon out of there, the landing light off of it.
But yeah, that's real. Like when I do a check ride and someone's not doing well on the ground eval, I'm like, oh, I bet he's a really good pilot.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, right? Like if he nails the ground eval, just shacks it, totally organized, I'm like, oh, bro, this guy's gonna suck.
We're in for a treat.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with dogfighting. The guys that are really procedural, they'll pick it up quicker because like you can teach a guy to fly by the numbers. Okay, you're going to do a brake turn. You're going to slow down to like 280 and then you're going to rotate your lift vector and you're going to G to hold like 240 and you're going to keep, you're going to be like 16 degrees nose low and you're going to, like you can give them the numbers and tell them exactly how to do a rate fight or a rate defense, right? And he'll do it. He'll learn how to do it really quick and he'll be awesome at it. But he won't know how to do anything else, right? He won't. If I change something up on him, he's going to be like, it does not compute. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, right? Where you show him something new, something different, and you'll be able to own him. Like a guy who's like more intuitive will be able to own a guy who's totally procedural. So I always felt like I was kind of slow to learn because I'm not super procedural, and the Air Force teaches like procedural. And so the guys who are procedural, they pick it up faster than me. Period. But I usually get to where I'm better than them because I'm more intuitive. So once I do get the procedure stuff down and fly by the numbers part down, now when it comes to like stick and rudder stuff, I'm going to own them.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's humbling at first because I'm always slower to pick stuff up, but eventually I'm like, you know what I mean? So I've just found that like you have to learn how to respect people for their strengths because everyone has a strength.
Yep.
Everyone has a weakness too, right?
Oh yeah.
So
my weakness is the candy my wife leaves on the kitchen table sometimes.
Right? Son of a.
I am trying so hard to lose weight, and it's like, yep, you got me.
Oh well. I'll try again tomorrow. Yeah. So I don't know. It taught me. Like, if I work hard, I can hang with those procedural guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd rather be an intuitive guy who has to work harder to learn the procedural stuff.
Right.
Because I can fix that. But the procedural guy, he's not going to be able to learn intuitive. Yeah, he's not going to pick that up. So, I don't know. It keeps me humble and I think it's like a better way to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me.
This is my favorite question to ask everybody.
All right.
I kind of teed you up a little bit beforehand because that one of the episodes he was like, "Can you just like tee me up for that a little bit better?" And I was like, "No, that's why this is fun."
That's what.
So if you could go back to any point in your life, and give yourself one piece of advice, when would it be and what would the advice be?
Oh my goodness. That's a tough one, man. So,
this is why this is my favorite question.
I would go back to that 5-year-old and be like, yes, you're going to fly fighters. Don't stress. Like, enjoy, do everything you can to prep now, you know what I mean? But enjoy the ride. Because, like, I stressed out about, like, I felt like it was my calling. I felt like it was my destiny. But I had some rough days, months, years because it wasn't happening. It wasn't coming together for whatever reason. So I think if I would have told myself way back then, dude, don't worry about it. It's written in the stars, man. You can't screw it up. You're not big enough to ruin your life, right? Like you can, as long as you're trying and showing up every day, you'll get where you're supposed to go. And whether that's in aviation, whether that's in, whatever you want to do. Like if you're supposed to do it, if it's written in the stars, man, you can't screw it up unless you just don't show up. If you quit.
That's some sound advice.
So I don't know. That's the advice I would give.
That's a good one. Anything else you want to leave everybody with?
Geez.
We covered a lot over this past 2 hours.
I feel like I'm all over the place, but there's a lot to talk about, man. I love this stuff. So anyway, fly safe. Like learn how to get out of that limbic system and get back in your neocortex, man. Enjoy every day. You never know when it's your last flight, right?
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful world, so go get out in it.
Well, man, I appreciate you making the time out of your busy schedule. Come.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Hang out. Absolutely.
Awesome conversation.
Oh, great time. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we'll probably have another one because that was a really good conversation. There's some conversations that's like, okay, thanks. But this was like, I love this one.
Well, hopefully we won't get you in trouble.
Everybody, somebody always has something to say every episode, but it's okay. I love it.
Right.
But I appreciate you, taking some time, come meet with me, teach me a little bit about some stuff. That's the whole goal of this podcast, to get people's stories out. And I feel like, we portrayed it pretty dang good.
Right on.
So for everybody listening at home, thanks again for listening. I appreciate the support and I hope you stay safe, stay sharp, and stay cleared. You.